Thursday. What's that mean? It's the day after Wednesday and the day before Friday, right? Guess what, guys? Today's a better day. Thursday, November 10th, 2022. And I guess we'll try to do today what we didn't do yesterday and have a better day because it is a better day, guys. And I can't wait to get it rolling. Thank you guys for being so supportive yesterday. I love you, each and every one of you, more than you know. What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Good to see you all here today. As every day. Welcome to all my meatballs that are here. I'm glad you guys decided to join me and jump into sauce today. And I can't wait to get today rolling. We got some stuff we can talk about. Miss Lisa Bevens here today again as my co-host. Thank you so much for joining me, my dear. There's your link. As always, great to have you here. Such a treat for me. And an honor to have you on my panel with me, my dear. Always. And there goes my knee. Every time, damn it. Stupid filing cabinet. Good morning, Cat K. Come on up, Miss Lisa. Let's get everything going, guys. Oh, that hurt. Let me get this shared out. What's up, stranger? Good to see you, brother. Come on in, guys. Grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever you're drinking, and come on in. Let's try this to have a better day today. What's up, Mama Bear? There she is. Good day, ma'am. How are you today?
I am great, thank you. How are you?
I'm a lot better than I was yesterday, that's for sure.
See, I could have told you Thursday was going to be a great day.
Absolutely.
This is good.
Absolutely. What's up, Molly? Good. Welcome, Miss Erie Fairies in the house. Molly, Mama Bear. Good golly, Miss Molly. Good to see you. Kelly, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Tortitude. Oh my goodness, God, I love it when Torty's here. We learn new words when Torty's in the house. Every time. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Welcome. Izzy Rose, good to see you here. Daisy Dead, always. I am doing good. There you go. Are you okay? Someone mentioned if they had a few words. Yes, I'm okay, Daisy. Thank you so much. Life, love, and true crime. Good to see you.
Thanks, Izzy.
Holly. Good to see you. Nisalam, welcome. Good to have you here. Good to have you all here. As always, I am so grateful for you guys.
Am I muted?
No.
No, didn't think so.
I can hear you. Stranger than fiction.
Confusing me, Izzy.
Cat K, good to have you here. Of course, our co-host, Miss Lisa Bevens, as always, with Crimes Under Investigation. Thank you for joining me once again today. Much appreciated.
No problem.
David James, my brother, good to see you. Welcome. Great to have you here, bro.
Radio gods. Hello, lovely.
Radio's in the house. Are you kidding me? Awesome.
No.
Awesome. I always love when radio's around. Radio is probably one of the funniest people that I know. I'm sorry to say. It's a great thing.
I have to agree with you.
It is a great thing. Radio is awesome. Love her to death. Thank you so much for joining us today, Radio. Are you going to watch the new Casey? Wait, what? Interview on Peacock. First time she's probably not. Sorry. I don't have. Oh, here we go. I don't have.
No, not again.
Nope. I don't. I'm not even answering it. I don't have any kind of an interest to hear her voice, so no. I'm sorry. Now, unless she admits to something and makes it a little bit more interesting, maybe. But I don't see myself doing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not into watching trash on TV.
That's right. That's right. Welcome, Breezy. Good to see you. Welcome, all of my meatballs. Thank you all for deciding to come on in and jump into sauce with me today. It's a fugazi. Come on in. Let's have a great day, guys. It's starting off well. I'm very happy. Come on in, everybody. Grab your coffee, your energy drinks, your tea, whatever you're drinking. Have a seat. Let's do this. Oh, here we go with this shit again. Come on.
I agree with you, Radio Gods,
Come
100%.
on. Come on. Yes, she is. I don't even consider her human, actually, radio. She's
No.
a creature, just like my ex-wife. Welcome, Dory. Good to see you. Come on in, everybody. What'd I tell you guys about knocking on the damn door? Come on in. All right, already. Come on. Come on in. Hope everybody's having a great start to your day. It is 1
Hello, Dory.
p.m. here, which means it's 1:30 a.m. where David James is.
And it's
And
4:43 a.m. here.
you didn't give me a chance, dang it.
Friday.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
Yes.
Your
Friday
future.
is the day in Australia for steak and lobster.
Ew. Don't know about that.
You don't like steak and lobster?
No, don't eat seafood at all. Love
Oh.
fishing. Will not
Okay,
eat
so-
seafood. Sorry.
There it is. I found it. I found the difference between you and me. There aren't many of them, but that is one. I love seafood, everything about it. Joy Perry,
Yep.
welcome. It is
Okay,
Friday in Australia, Joy. That's what she's saying. Not here. It's Thursday here, but it's Friday there. They're a whole day ahead of us.
Yep. So I can tell you how good your next day is going to be. I had to think about that.
Lisa went back to the future. How corny was that? Cornball dago. Yes, I am a cornball. It's okay.
Hi, Joy.
I didn't say I was crazy. I just said I'm a cornball. But you think what you want to think. I'll think what I want. How about that one?
Sure is, David.
Remembrance Day, huh?
Yes.
What is Remembrance Day, guys? Explain, please.
For, oh God, the World War, is it 1 or 2? Or is it both? David, help me out here. But yeah, it's Remembrance Day for the men and women that fought in the war.
Oh, our Independence Day? Or our
Yes.
Memorial Day?
Yes. Yes.
Or, well, tomorrow's our, we have Veterans Day here. That's tomorrow.
Yeah. We have Anzac Day as well.
We have veterans.
Those who fought in Vietnam, sorry.
Gotcha.
Yep.
We have Veterans Day. We have Memorial Day. We have Labor Day. We also have, of course, the 4th of July, which is Independence Day. That's when the United States declared its independence, blah, blah, blah. Or if you want to go along with Will Smith and the day that the aliens took over and Bill Pullman decided to take over anyway, we're going to move on from that. But anyway, the end of World War I. That's what Remembrance Day is the end of World War I. Okay.
I thought it was both wars, David, because we only had Anzac Day, which covers the veterans that fought in Vietnam.
Right, Daisy, I get it. I think that's
so
what
I thought.
Yeah.
Remembrance Day was for World War I and II.
What wars did you guys? I didn't even know. To be honest with you guys,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I didn't know that Australia even had a military like they do, and it was so weird for me to find that out. And I was just like, wow, because they never talked about it much, in our history books and stuff like that. And then I went back and did my own stuff, and I'm like, holy hell, you guys had one hell of a military, actually. So,
and there's the sad thing. See what you just said? They didn't talk about our military in your schools.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know most of my schooling was all about America? and your history and
Right.
England's history, not our own history. We don't tend to
It's
learn
weird.
about our own history here.
That is odd because we do
It is.
everybody's. I mean, I don't remember. Maybe it's just that I'm too old. I don't remember it touching on anything that had anything to do with Australia ever, other than like geography or something. When we're going over different continents and countries and in states and all that kind of stuff, that was really it. And I remember being in seventh or eighth grade, and we watched a
Mhm.
video about Australia, which is where my love for Australia began, with all the reefs and the just the beauty of Australia and how the outback and the animals and just all the wildlife and everything, and just that's where that started. And it's been that way for me ever since. I've always wanted to go there. My daughter was in the National Honor Society,
Mhm.
and uh, actually became part of a group of, I call them just a group of smart kids that were offered the ability to go to study in Australia, but we had to pay as parents an obscene amount of money for the trip. And even though she was in the honor society, they were going to cover all of the educational costs. We had to pay for the trip. And at that point in time, it was ridiculously expensive. And I'm talking
Mm.
ridiculous. And we had 7 children at the time. So it was unfortunately something we couldn't cover. Um, and it was regretful because it's a one in a lifetime experience, once in a lifetime experience. And I wanted her to do it. And we weren't able to cover it. So I even looked into taking out a damn loan to cover it, but it was up in the thousands of dollars for
Mm.
this trip. Good to
Yep.
see you, Miss Christine. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
So
Christine,
very
sis.
disappointed.
Yeah, if you're looking for them beaches, don't come to Victoria. Although we have beaches, they're not as beautiful, and the sand and that isn't the water and the sand is not as clear as what it is in South Australia, but more so Perth and the top end of Australia have the better beaches,
Well,
the great reefs.
if I go, that's where I'm going. I'm going to stay with my friend David in
Mm.
Perth. So, or close to him, I should say. I would not stay with him. I'll obviously put myself in his home. That's rude, but stay near him so he can show me around and so on and so forth. And I've talked to my wife about it multiple times, and once everything is settled and then my everything's set, straightened around in my life, I'm thinking about finding a way to do it because I've always wanted to go there.
Mm.
My 16-year-old son wants to go there bad. My wife wants to go there bad. So it may be a vacation we take one of these days, and to where I'll actually be able to meet up with Mr. David James, and he can show me the beauty of Australia. Yeah, they're
That would be
expensive.
great.
Very expensive, Breezy. If I can make the flight. Now that's my other problem is I have some issues with um 1 second, everyone.
The sharks, well, in all the times I've swam in the beach, I got to say I haven't come across one. But then I'm not a big beach swimmer. I used to be when I was younger, but I'm not a great. I love swimming, don't get me wrong, but it's got to be either really, really cold for me to swim, or it's got to be well over 40 degrees for me to swim. Otherwise, it's just not hot enough. Oh no, sorry, Izzy. Surf beaches, yeah, we have surf beaches here. But me surf, no, not in a million years. My son tried it and got caught in a rip. We took him right out to sea, and he, instead of him doing the whole thing like this to say he was in trouble, he just puts his hand up, and I thought he was waving at me, so I just waved back as he was going further and further out to sea. Luckily, his mates realised that were with us that went out and got him, bring him back. But not my thing. Get on a horse any day, not on a surfboard. Sorry. We don't belong in the ocean, Daisy. Not now. I hate getting covered in sand and then it gets dragged through the car. Drives me insane. Yeah, they are, Christine. It was a bit scary when I realised what was going on. I got caught in one up in South Australia when I was a child. But I was lucky a few people next to me grabbed me. Didn't see land. I can go out in a boat. I owned a boat and I love fishing. Love going out in a boat, no problem, where I can't see land. Quite happily on my own because nobody can get to you unless they have a boat themselves. So yeah, I used to do that for downtime. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I believe in that too. Stiffy, I'm like that.
Righty, alrighty. Sorry, everybody. 42 used Talca takes off. Sand Lake Magic. What are we talking about here? Hello, Miss Sherry Ganster. Welcome. Good to see you.
We were talking about boats in the ocean and
Gotcha.
no easy.
Barnacles. Boats.
No, we have kangaroos here. They just not. We don't get them much on the property here, but they tend to hop along the road while you're driving, especially in the warmer weather.
What was that all about?
I don't know. I thought you bring your pool inside there for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! See, that's the only problem I will ever have, ever. If I go to Australia, is if I encounter a huntsman spider in Australia, that's the end of me. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just telling you right now. That's it. It's over.
So right, I know that, and I've actually told my daughter, who's the hero with huntsman's, I've got to get him with the vacuum cleaner, and I'll only do it if nobody else is around.
If I see it,
I have severe arachnophobia, so I'm out.
So do
but my daughter, she'll play the hero and save us.
I'm telling you,
I told her the next time she sees one to take a photo for you.
Yeah, I knew I can't do the spiders, not the huntsman. I can't do normal, regular good old fashioned Ohio spiders that ain't nothing, let alone these mutated monster spiders. Because I'm telling you, that's how I'll be dealing with it, is with a gun. I can't not. Nope. You think that's crazy to shoot a spider? Guess what? I'm crazy because I can't be dealing with no damn spiders. No way. Nope.
Well, when you're up at Perth, ask David to take you right out the outback. They even have bigger spiders out there.
That's what I'm worried about.
They have bird-eating spiders out there.
Okay, see that's not nope, no. A spider's not supposed to have a big enough mouth to put a bird in it. Okay, that's my problem. If you can see, listen, I've seen spiders here that I can see their eyes. Like I walk by them and they're like, "Hey, what's going on, bro? You got some extra food hanging out?" That kind of shit. You know, like they're trying to use my address. No, I don't want that kind of. That's too big for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, the funnel web. I know those. We actually have funnels here. My stupidity. I'll never forget this. I have a bench in my yard, just like to sit on. It's like a decorative bench and all that. And they found the corner of it, one of these funnel weavers. Okay. And they made a web about that big around, and it was the funnel thing, and it goes down in, it gets narrow as it goes in, right? So here's me, like a 5-year-old kid. I picked up a stick, and I'm like, I wonder what this is all about. And I stick down in, and I go down in, and I push it down. And I wasn't thinking. I didn't have my hand on the end of the stick, right? I had
Mm.
my hand down here holding it, and I went down in, and I'm just looking at this, like messing with the web, doing this. And here's this big MFer come up out of the thing up on the stick and came that close to my finger. I threw the stick, screamed like a girl, and ran like a 5-year-old to the house. Like it was big. It was probably that big around. And I'm like, nope, 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 not nope, but hell nope, no. I was done. So that'll tell you right now. And this was one I had never seen before. And then I'm sitting. This was the same day, you guys. It was the same day. I was already traumatized and hyperventilated 3 times because of this one. I'm sitting on my front porch, and there's a bush that grows up around the front of my front porch, okay?
Mm.
And I just happened to look to the right like this, and there is, no lie, never seen this in my life. I ran in my house and locked the door when I seen this one. Right on top of the bush, there was a spider about that big, and it was red, white, and blue. And I'm like, what the fuck? I got Spider-Man spiders here? Seriously? Are you kidding me? And that was when I had first moved in out here. And I'm like, I'm so done with this house already because I have coyotes and squirrels, and I have I swear to God, there's an effing Bigfoot out here somewhere too. Squirrels and bears and foxes. Oh my. Um, Bobcats. I mean, anything you can think of, it's out around my damn house. Okay. And then I got these stupid effing mutated spiders, alien spiders, whatever the hell you want to call these things. No, that was enough. I was done. I'm like, okay, I love everybody here. I love my wife. I love my son. I said, I love you all. I said, I'll be back. I'm going to go upstairs to pack a bag, and I'm leaving. And you guys can have the house, and I'm going to go live in a hotel in the city where I know that at least they clean and they get rid of spiders because I can't handle this shit anymore. So, that being said, wait a minute. I have alligators and herpes and ducks. What the hell? What in the hell, radio? Are you what? Alligators and herpes and ducks. What the,
Oh my.
what the hell?
Oh God.
Alligators and herpes and ducks.
Oh my. Every time you say it.
Alligators and herpes and ducks, so my.
Oh my. We
Okay, radio.
Radio Gods has come up with a new movie.
Alligators and herpes and ducks, oh my.
Oh my.
Keep peppermint oil around the door and window. Listen, Breezy, I tried all that. I almost drank peppermint oil just to keep them away from me. Okay, that's how bad it doesn't work. I live in the wild kingdom out here. Okay, it's not that peppermint oil shit. They drink the peppermint oil, get drunk, and keep going. That's how it is. Bobcats, yeah, they look great, Tori, until you try to touch one and they rip your arm off.
I'll tell you what does work. WD-40 around your window sills.
On the outside?
No, on the inside of your window sills.
Wouldn't that stink?
No. It does for the few seconds that you spray it, and then the smell goes. You just leave it on your window ledge, and when they go across it, they die.
That's a good thing. I don't want them to come across it, let alone, I don't want them getting that close.
Most of them won't because they don't like the smell of it.
WD-40, huh? Well, I got a bunch of that,
Yep.
so maybe I'll try that, and then I'll spray it around my pillow so that they don't come anywhere near my head or my face or anything. I've had nightmares about that shit, you guys, about them crawling in my nose and my mouth and stuff. Nope.
Look, I can see them in pitch darkness. And we have certain months here where it literally rains spiders where I am, like the huntsmans. They just float down. and your car ends up covered in spider webs from them. Honestly.
All right, David, listen. I love you, bro. And you are one of my best friends, but I'm not coming to Australia. I'm just letting you know. That's not happening now. You can come here, and I'll show you all the dumb shit and bullshit that we don't have. and how boring it is. But I'm not coming there now. See, you just ruined that for me. I'm good. Nope. Raining spiders. Get the no, no. See,
I
that's not.
said here. I didn't say where David was. I said here. I don't know about where David is.
Oh, I'm sure if it happens there, it's. I'm sure it's gonna happen. I'm sure the rain cloud just doesn't hang over your house. Nope.
Well, it depends. If he's not in rural area, then you'll be right.
Yep. Nope. I can't do it. Can't do it. Spiders are supposed to crawl, not fly, and rain and Nope. Nope. Nope.
Well, they don't fly. They just glide. They spread their
Oh,
legs and they
yeah. So they can just
glide.
glide right down onto your head and your face,
Yes.
and no, I'm good.
Yeah, you just don't walk under trees, and that, especially when you know which certain time not to do it.
Just don't walk under trees.
Yep.
Okay, so flying spiders or floating spiders that rain from the
Hey,
sky.
I'll tell you here. This
Okay.
one stunned me. So, had a dead huntsman in the horse trough, right? The horse water,
Mm-hmm.
which is an old bath in the paddock. Anyway, walking past it, my daughter goes, I said to my daughter, help me tip this up. I've got to get rid of the spider in it. And she goes, I'll just pick it up with the sift that we used to clean it out. And I said, no, tip it up. She goes, oh, Mum, it's dead. It's been in there for a few days. I went, no, help me tip it up. So we tipped it up. And I said to her, I bet you 10 to 1 that spider's not dead. Sure it is. It's been on the bottom of the bath for a couple of days now. Sure enough, tipped it up. And the thing just runs off. And anyway, we got the pest control.
I'm definitely not
No,
coming.
see, didn't know this. Most people actually did not know this. I even tried looking it up.
Thank you so much, Christine.
The pest control guy come out and we asked him.
And they ate him, right?
How long do huntsmen live underwater for? He had no idea. None. Like us, he thought they died. Anyway, no, they don't. Apparently, when they go underwater, they slow their breathing down, but they collect all these little air bubbles on their body, on their hairs, and can stay alive for over 2 weeks underwater. That worries you even more now, doesn't
Once
it?
again, David, it was nice thought and everything, but I'm not coming to Australia. I love you, bro. I do. Nope. No. Thank you, Christine Rose, for the first super chat of the day. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love you so much. Nope.
Thanks, Christine.
No, that sets alarms off all over my head about that shit. Sorry. You guys are killing me. No. Nope. You shut that shit down right now. Nope. So much for going to Australia. We're not going to Australia, hon.
Just take some WD-40.
You'll agree with me when I tell you why. We'll look at all the pictures in the world, and we can even watch videos about it and pretend I'm not going. Unless I can take an AK-47 with me, we're not going. Sorry. Good God. See, why did you, Lord, why did you put these things on this planet? Why? Such a shame, such a waste. Because it's no steak lobster for me from Australia.
The chances of you meeting one, the chances of you running into one are like slim to none.
Have you? Okay, well, Lisa, we haven't met, obviously, because I have the worst luck in the world, and that chance would happen to me. So, yeah. Me personally, I'd probably run into 5 or 6 of them within an hour's period, and I wouldn't have to worry about coming home then. Just bury me where I lay, and I'm done.
Think of it this way. They're big enough that you'll see them.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I can just imagine one sitting down next to me on a fucking bench somewhere, excuse my language, and like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. What? Yeah, no, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. Not going to happen. Moving on. That's it.
That's
Make it
true.
very
That is
comfortable.
very true.
Again, thank you, Miss Christine Rose.
That's right, Mama Bear. They do help get rid of the bugs and insects.
And everything else that walks and talks, right? Because they're that damn big. It's not,
Hey, I'm still alive.
well,
They might get me out of the room and I might say, that's it, it's all yours.
the whole house would be empty if I was
You
there.
win. No, I just slowly move room to room. It's yours. Can have it.
I don't know if you've seen that from Christine Rose says she loves you.
Love you too, Christine.
We love you.
Gorgeous lady.
We love you all. Yes, you are. She is a very pretty lady, isn't she? Everybody is, but just saying. Cece says I don't like hairy spiders. Well, I don't like hairless spiders either. I don't like any of them. Wait,
Is there
Kelly. What?
such thing as a hairless spider?
I don't know. If there's some that are so that are where you can't see the hair on them, I think. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Kelly, but
They're talking about bullfrogs.
oh,
If you lick a bullfrog, you apparently get hallucinations from them.
well, I'm good on that too.
Oh, see, it hails spiders and snakes where David is. You'll be right.
See,
See,
like I
snakes I
said,
can do. Snakes don't bother me. I'm not scared of snakes at all.
what the okay, yeah. Okay, it'll be okay since there's snakes coming down too. We're good. Yeah, right. I got you. No. No. The answer is no. David, I'm sorry I'm not coming. I love you. You know I do. You're like a brother to me. I'm not doing it.
Well, at least we don't have the snakes raiding here, David.
Jesus. That's not normal. It's a horror. It's an effing horror movie, you guys. A real life horror movie. And why are people licking frogs? Why would somebody in their right mind lick a damn frog?
I have never worked out how somebody found that out or why they licked a frog. I really can't tell you.
Here's the thing with that one, okay? People say you lick frogs and then you have hallucination. No. What happened was is somebody was an idiot and took some kind of drugs. Then they licked the frog because of the drugs, and the drugs were actually making them have hallucinations because they were on drugs, is what it was.
No, it's true. It really is true.
That's ridiculous. That's
if you
crazy.
lick a bullfrog, no, honestly, there is something
What?
that
Okay,
they give off.
You're right. I know, but Lisa, what state of mind do you have to be in to lick a damn frog? That's what I'm trying to say.
That myself. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you can't be.
But my first thought was, who was the first smart person to go, this looks great to lick,
right,
and then licks it, and then goes and tells everybody.
right.
I mean, it's not bad enough that they've licked it in the first place, but then to go and tell everybody is a bit of a concern, because I wouldn't own up to doing that.
Right, and that's actually a good idea, Radio. That's a Christine Rose again with the super chat. Thank you so much. That's not funny, Christine. I'm not laughing. Ha!
You're getting paranoid.
Thank you. Don't do that because I will jump out of my chair faster than you guys can blink. I'm telling you. Because that's happened to me before. They do come down from the ceiling. You have to see.
I agree with you, Pamela. Me too.
When I go to bed at night, what did she say? Kissed a few toads in my time, but never licked a frog. Yeah, I'll bet. When I go to bed at night, when I walk in my bedroom, I have my light on my phone. I turn it on, and I scan the entire ceiling and the walls of my bedroom. That's how much I don't like spiders, because I've woken up before with them like crawling on my pillow and shit like that. Yeah, no. So
I'm the same.
I do it every time.
April. Hey, gorgeous ladies. Cat.
Welcome, Schmoovie. Good to see you in April. Good to have you here. And we have the stupid stink bugs. God, I'm so tired of these things all over my house. No matter what I do, there they are. Thank you, Miss CC, once again. I appreciate that so much. Oh, you're welcome to do what you need, Schmoovie. Have fun with your company. Don't worry about us. You're always here. But I appreciate it. I do. They do hitchhike on you. and crawl on you. And anything that crawls on you, I don't like at all. Yes, we do have grubs in the yards. I've seen them. Stink bugs suck bad, and they stink. They stink. They do stink. You love spiders? Are you not? Well, I don't want to
Radio,
insult.
really?
That's
Ew.
crazy. Crazy. How? What can you
Snakes,
love
yes.
about them?
Spiders, no.
There's nothing to love. I went grocery shopping
No.
yesterday. My goodness. Oh yeah, they're bad, Breezy. It's really bad. Really, really bad. Yeah, no lie, Molly. No lie. We got those stupid little those black fuzzy jumping spiders. They're only like this big, okay? It was pretty good size, but still. And he was on my ceiling the other day.
Mm.
And my son is as petrified as I am. He's 16. He's bigger than me. And he can reach the damn ceiling better than I can, right? And I'm like, just get your shoe and smash it or something. Oh, I'm not touching it. I said, the shoe will kill it before it gets to you. No, don't, Dad. And he was like arguing with me and trying to like defend his life over this because I can't stand that thing. And he was like, as soon as I go to hit it, it's going to jump on my face or something. I'm like, no, it's not. Stop. Well, yeah. He went to hit it and it jumped and it hit his forehead. He about had a seizure. It bounced off his forehead and hit the floor. And I'm chasing the damn thing out the door. It's bouncing all over the place. And I'm trying not to have it touch me. It was so bad. My wife's just standing there looking at both of us like, wow, you guys are very manly, aren't you? And I'm like, listen, you don't like them either. You're just as scared as them.
That's why I
Whatever.
use a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I never thought of it. I do that with the stink bugs when they're inside the house.
When I
Take them outside. They do
when
not
we use
deserve to
the
be outside, Mama Bear.
when I use the vacuum cleaner to get the spider, then I tape up all the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Vacuum cleaner out on the back porch,
we'll suck them up. We
just in
suck
case
their.
it finds its way out.
What the hell is a drop bear? You don't want me to come to Australia, do you? Fuck camel spiders? Yeah. Nope. Nope. No. Hell no. You ever seen a camel
Drop
spider?
bears.
No. No. And what do you mean drop bears? I'm really not ever coming to Australia. No matter, I don't care if it's free. No.
The drop bear is commonly called the koala bear,
All right. Well, what
which
are
is
these
really
koala
not a
bears?
bear.
What are these koala bears that are like psycho and they're all like bloodshotted out eyes, like they're rabbit or something? What's that all about? There's
Oh,
some
you've
kind of a
lost me.
koala bear that's all like crazy looking. I've seen.
You know, you've lost me on that one.
I was watching a
Koala
story.
bears are quite vicious.
Well, I seen a story. I seen them fighting actually. Two koala bears fighting each other. And I'm like, oh, that's such a cute little thing until it went at the other one and about ripped its throat out. And I'm like, good God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
they
do
look.
that to humans too.
Yeah, no. See? No. They jump out of trees. Right. So far, here's the deal, guys. So I'm supposed to go to Australia where they have mutated human-sized spiders that eat birds, bears that jump out of trees and rip your throat out, and anything else that lives in the outback. Yeah, I'm good. Let's have a good day now. Oh, and don't forget the kangaroos that'll beat your ass in the middle of the street. Right. Nope. Hell no. Yeah, I'd have to be stoned to go there. There's no way. And you better keep me stoned the whole damn time. Otherwise, I ain't going to be able to handle nothing. Raining spiders. Yeah, don't forget that either. Raining spiders and snakes. Bears that jump out of trees and rip your throats out. Man-eating or bird-eating spiders that are the size of dogs and cats. I'm good. Completely good. Nothing else. No. Oh, come on, mate. My bullshit, Mike. You tell me you would do it? Mate, my ass. Yeah. Excuse me, folks. I got to run to the little boy's room now. All this talk of spiders will make me pee my pants. I'll be right back.
Good Lord. Yeah, I did say that, Smoothie. That was a good fight. He was actually quite lucky with that kangaroo in some sense. They're pretty strong, but they're pretty vicious too, I might add. Oh, don't add in the gators. I don't have gators here. David, do you have gators where you are, love? Hi on the mic. How are you, love? I am well, thank you very much. Drop bears. David, you're going to make sure he never comes over here. That's cruel. Oh, I cope with them, CC. And like I said, I do have arachnophobia. Like I said, I can handle snakes, not spiders. I'm very much like Dago. I'll bail out the car. If there's one on the outside of the car, I still bail out the car, even if the car's going. Trust me. Thanks for that, Smoothie. I hope so too, Brandy. Thank you, Christine and Bonnie. You're going to get me paranoid. Well, at least you pulled over. I don't pull over, Izzy. I just bail. I've done it a few times now. The only time I didn't, I was driving into the petrol station to pick my youngest daughter up from work, and this huntsman was actually on the inside of my car, and is just going up and I'm like, and ready to jump out, and then I realised that I was just going around the Bowsers, so if I had jumped out the car, I probably would have created a huge fire or something. I thought, no, I can't do that. So my polishing rag, I just got it and held my hand on it, pulled up next to these two bikers. My daughter got in the car and I'm like, grab the cloth, grab the cloth, grab the cloth. And she couldn't work out what was wrong with me. Wouldn't grab the cloth, so I just threw it out the car. Mind you, it landed on the bike next to me. And so did the spider, so I left him with the spider. He didn't see it. All right, guys, you can stop putting spiders in now. Yep. My friend's car, Hayden, so I bailed out of his car. Sure did. Went to bail out of my daughter's car and she grabbed hold of me because the spider was actually running around to my side of the door. Bees see, stuff like that doesn't bother me. I'm not scared of bugs, bees and all that. And I'm allergic to bees, but they don't worry me. Stuff like that doesn't bother me. I have a daughter that's scared of every bug known to man, but yeah, bugs don't bother me. It's only spiders. I had a pet snake for a few years, so snakes don't bother me. I've never been afraid of snakes. Have a good day, sweetheart. Take care. Oh, you don't like spiders and snakes? Um, that was the easy bit, Mama Bear.
Scared of spiders, snakes, frogs, and clowns. Okay. What if you seen a clown dressed up as a spider? I don't mind snakes as long as they're on the ground. Mm-hmm. The arachnid, the hermit crabs freak me out too. They look like spiders. That's why. My wife
No,
asked me,
they don't.
"Why are you in there
They
freaking
don't
out?"
worry me.
Pet frogs.
Nothing else bothers me like spiders. Only
Why
spiders are the only things that bother me.
are you putting all these spiders in my chat, Christine?
She keeps doing it.
I see it. They're
Her
creepy.
and
I
Bonnie
just
were
killed
doing
one.
it.
I just killed a spider, you guys. All of this talk of spiders. I just killed a damn spider. It was just a tiny little one, but still. We have a lot of
Now
ticks and stuff out here too that look like spiders.
you're gonna get me paranoid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm good.
If I
So,
start moving this way, it's only because the huntsman's got me in the chair and I'm just going with them. I'm doing it to myself. I gotta stop.
It's still, what is it, 4, almost 5 a.m. there, right?
It's, try 5:23. You were almost right. You're getting closer.
I'm getting there.
You
Oh,
are.
well, I'm trying to talk about other stuff, but it's been nothing but spiders and snakes and koalas. Oh my. Um, no, Izzy, I
No,
don't.
there wasn't that herpes. Oh my.
Oh, and herpes, yes, it was alligators and herpes and ducks. Oh my.
Oh my. That's it. And it's
Yeah.
radio. You didn't explain that.
No, really, honestly, radio, you dropped that and then didn't say another word. Like, how the hell can you do that? Honestly, the herpes. Yeah, me too, Pamela. I was
I hope
about.
it didn't tickle you.
I think that's why I had to go to the bathroom. I hope. Yeah, I hope you're not getting tickled by herpes because that's not a real fun tickling. Yeah, I was gonna try to go over what we were gonna do yesterday. The Tiffany Valiante case. If we could. I heard kangaroos from Australia. I'd like to go there to the zoo. Yeah. Nope. Have fun, Joy. Tell us how it worked. Tell us how much fun you had, because I'm not doing it. I'm done. The only way I'll go to Australia now is if you put me inside a effing bubble and I can
But
walk
you
around.
don't need to go to the zoo to see kangaroos. You just drive out the country. You'll see them.
That's one thing I always wondered, why our zoos don't have kangaroos here. That's how I roll. It is. I agree. You're right, radio. You do very well with it too.
That was well
Very
done.
well. Very well. Let's see. Schmoovy's in and out of here. I see Brandy's here now. I haven't seen Heather in a day or so. Like, what's going on with her? I hope she's okay.
That they are, David. That they are.
What the hell is the Thunderbox?
Oh, you got that one, David. The room you just used. There you go.
No, I ain't gonna be boxing no kangaroos, brother. Sorry. What the hell? All right, sending me pictures with shit with spiders on it. Enough.
Not me.
Real funny, Molly. My friend went over to Ukraine 2.5 years ago and got stuck over there with a cashier's check for $2 million that he. Wait, what?
Hey?
That he can't cash? For $2 million? How does that work?
Well,
Okay. Woo, Hodo.
if you don't live in that country, that would be extremely hard, wouldn't it?
Oh well, right now you probably can't cash it because aren't their banks all shut down and everything?
Where? Oh, in the Ukraine? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I would say they would be, wouldn't they?
it looks pretty. I mean,
Thanks, Christine.
other than the spiders, that looks pretty cool, Molly. I like the skull a lot. Both of them actually. The spiders you can keep. I'm sorry. It's
But that
definitely
was
not
two.
found
That
back.
was 2.5 years ago.
Right. That's $2 million. That wow, that sucks. That sucks bad.
But is it because of that, or is it because of what's going on over there?
Yeah, it does make you wonder. One person that needs to be put in front of the firing squad as soon as possible. I'm
Who?
sorry. Um, David, me and David have talked about him. We both have the same feelings for him. The leader of Russia. I can't think of his name right this
Oh,
second.
yep, yep.
How is his name, guys? Somebody say it.
That's what it sounds like, Radio Gods, doesn't it?
A scam, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'm
why would you
wondering if
use
it's one of those computer things. You send us this
right?
amount, and we'll send you this amount. Putin. That's it.
Mongolia. Yes, Daisy, please do. Putin, thank you guys, thank you. Vladimir Putin, that's what I call him. Vladimir Putin. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a scam to me.
Mm.
Why wouldn't you just do a money transfer like everybody else in the world does nowadays? You know what I mean?
Seems odd to carry a $2 million check with you to go
Yeah,
overseas to
right.
another country. That's really odd.
Mama Bear Putin is way more than a bully. Way, way, way more than a bully. That man, in my opinion, is Adolf Hitler reincarnated and needs to be dealt with as such. I'm sorry. There's nothing human about him. I think, in my opinion, if you want to ask me, if you want to get into conspiracy theories, I'll call him the Antichrist because what he does and what he's done is just disgusting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's no way to verify that or not justify that, I should say. Oh, there's a lot of that Amazon thing going around, Anna. You got to be careful. No, he's got heart, another medical condition. He's been in the hospital at 45 times since I've been talking in 2020. Damn. Good Lord. It
Is
sounds like
this a friend? Is this a friend you've met, Joy?
he wanted to get out of that war zone over there. That's part of his problem with his heart. Mm. Just be careful, Joy, please. I would hate to see
Mm,
anything happen. That just sounds. I understand what you're saying. Um,
mm,
we have a police officer here in my town, my actual town itself, who has had family in Ukraine, and they were trying to get out of there too. He finally got him out of there, but he's Ukrainian as well. But you have to watch because there's a lot of scams I've seen that are coming from that direction. They're
mm.
trying really hard to get anybody they can. So just be careful. Yes, absolutely, Joy. I agree. And I will definitely pray for you, but I just please be careful. That's all. I definitely don't want to see anything happen in that sense.
And in saying that, I don't wish anybody to live in that war zone either.
Right.
Not, it should never happen in this day and age. You're meant to learn from past history. Apparently, governments don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Joy, that's good. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, that's fine. I want to. We're just looking out for you to make sure you're safe. That's all. That's all. All right, guys. I don't know what you guys know about this. If you do know anything at all, um, but this case caught my attention a while ago, and I'm very interested in it, and I thought you guys might be as well. If you don't already know about it. Um, oh, it was 100% avoidable, Breezy. I agree with you on that for sure.
Yep.
Um, yeah, Putin is just a greedy monster, and that's all there is to it.
But
So
in saying
again,
that, aren't all wars sorry,
no, what were you saying?
I said in saying that, aren't all wars avoidable?
In
And
my
they should
opinion,
be
they
more
can be.
so now. Yep.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay. Radio says that that is a script that they read. Dr. Phil did a whole show on it. I did see that too. Yes.
Yep.
No, I understand completely. Well, that's good, Joey. No, I understand that. Like I said, I think everybody's just kind of looking out for you because it has, not that he is one, but it does happen. Is what everybody's saying. That's all. So just watch. That's all. No worries. No worries whatsoever. Just be careful. We care about you. That's all. All right. So again, her name is Tiffany Valiante, and it's this is what it was all based on. Is it was Tiffany Valiante's grisly death by train a suicide or something far more sinister, which is what I believe it is. Um, Ever since Tiffany Valiante of Mays Landing, New Jersey, was gruesomely killed by an oncoming train in 2015, the full story behind her death has remained an unsolved mystery, which in turn is true because it ended up on Unsolved Mysteries. On a summer night in 2015, New Jersey Transit train 4693 struck and killed an 18-year-old named Tiffany Valiante near her home in Mays Landing. In the aftermath, her death was ruled a self-offing. But her family insists that the recent high school graduate was actually unalived. Even though Tiffany Valiante had endured a tumultuous year, her parents contend that she was far from that word. They believe that New Jersey Transit claimed she stepped onto the tracks to avoid accusations of negligence and insist that the authorities bungled her investigation into her death. Imagine that. Law enforcement dropping the ball. We don't know anything about that, do we? Now, this
Not
is
at
her.
all.
Yeah. This is her. Pretty girl, sadly. She was a little different. She was 6'2". And it says she had plans to attend college when she appeared to die by unaliving herself 2015. What's more unsettling, rumors pervaded the girl's town in the aftermath of her death. One local store manager even came forward to say that his teenage employees had been sharing stories about how she had been abducted and forced onto the train tracks. Anybody that knows or saw this story knows what that's about. We'll get into it here. Um, Now this says, so what exactly happened to Tiffany? The tumultuous final days of Tiffany Valiante. There she is again in the middle, her father and her mother. As we can see, she's 6'2". Look how tall her dad is to her. Like that must be a huge dude. Big guy. Diane and Steve are her parents. In the days and weeks, months leading up to Tiffany Valiante's death on July 12th, 2015, the 18-year-old had a number of personal struggles, as the Daily Beast reports. She and her mother, Diane, had clashed to the point that Child Protective Services visited their home 3 times in 2014. Then Diane admitted to punching her in the arm during an argument. They both agreed to attend counseling sessions, during which Valiante told the therapist that she was neither depressed nor suicidal. The therapist ultimately found that she had a stable family relationship. But if Tiffany Belliante's family life was stable, her life outside the home was anything but, according to the Daily Beast. She responded to her grandfather's death by smoking pot, stealing money, and skipping class in early 2015. She came out as gay and started dating women, and Valiante expressed feelings of loneliness to her friends who told investigators that she had self-harmed. Still, Valiente seemed to have bright hopes for her future. She had won a volleyball scholarship and had plans to attend Mercy College in New York State, according to WHYY. She was mulling pursuing a career in criminal justice. Yes, awesome. Or even joining the Air Force. But before she could start her freshman year, Tiffany died in a horrifying fashion. Now, this is a picture of that they had gotten from a trail cam, if you guys can see it.
Yep.
Welcome, Kim. Good to see you. Sorry, caterpillars freak me out too. Let me blow it up just a little bit bigger for you guys. There we go. This is a trail cam that caught her walking down right by her house. Okay, like right in front of her home, actually, I believe. It was at night, and there she is walking. By the way, she does have a pair of slip-on shoes on it. It's hard to tell. She had shorts, t-shirt, had that white headband, and these shoes, which we will get to later on in the story. And it says this grainy still is the last known image of Tiffany, captured on a neighbor's deer cam on the night that she died. Although no one knows exactly what happened to Tiffany on July 12, 2015, a couple, I'm not going to keep saying her last name like that because it sounds ridiculous. A couple of facts are known. On that date, she attended a graduation party with her parents, Diane and Steve, at around 9 p.m. One of her friends asked to speak to Diane and Steve and told them back at the home that Valiante had been using her debit card. The conversation lasted less than 10 minutes, and Valiante denied the accusation through a receipt from the card was later found in her room. Wait a minute. Though a receipt from the card was later found in her room. According to WHYY, she and her parents discussed the incident after her friend left, an interaction her mother described as more of a squabble than a blowout fight. But then, while searching Valiante's car, Diane saw her daughter slip the debit card in question into her pocket. She went inside. Why is that still there? Go away. Damn it. She went inside. Where'd it go? She went inside to get Steve, and when they returned, their daughter had disappeared. She was out by the car, Diane told WHYY. I walked inside to get my husband. I only left her for 1 minute. I walked back out, and she wasn't there. What happened to Tiffany from that point, no one knows. As time passed and she didn't return, her parents launched a search that turned up Valiante's cell phone, apparently discarded at the end of their driveway. Tiffany never went anywhere without her cell phone, Diane told WHYY, explaining that her daughter had even gotten a waterproof case so that she could use her phone in the shower. That's a little much, but okay. By 11:30 p.m., her parents were so alarmed that they called the police, but it was too late. 27 minutes earlier, a New Jersey transit train traveling southbound at 80 miles per hour had hit Tiffany about 4 miles from her home with such force that all 4 of her limbs were torn from her body. And that does happen, you guys, and I'll tell you why I know that here in a minute. When they first came to the house to tell us, I made them repeat themselves because I just was in shock, Diane told WHYY. They just said she was hit by a train. They didn't tell us anything else. We thought she was hit in a car with someone, that the car got hit. That's why we initially thought, we were like, oh God, who else was in the car? By the next day, investigators officially closed the case. They claimed that Tiffany had thrown herself in front of the tracks and died by unaliving herself. But as time went on, a number of other clues emerged that suggested the truth could be more complicated. Now, this is a memorial that was set up for her in loving memory of Tiffany Valiante, March 3rd, 1997, which was when she was born, to July 12th, 2015. Rooted in love, forever in our hearts. It's very pretty, very beautiful. And it was built by her family. A couple things about Tiffany's death seemed odd from the beginning. For starters, she was found barefoot and wearing just her underwear. But her family, which we saw in the picture, you guys, which was only moments, this all happened within minutes. That's why it's so weird to me, okay? She had on that t shirt, the shorts, of course, underwear underneath, and she had on those slip on shoes, okay? And then the headband on her head. Gotcha. Okay. The word, where are we at? Back it up now. For starters, she was found barefoot and wearing just her underwear, but her family initially accepted the investigators' findings and had her body cremated. Big mistake. I'm sorry. That's a big mistake. Without knowing what's going on, no. The worst decision of my life, Diane told WHYY through tears. I just assumed the investigators did what they were supposed to do. We can't ever assume that any longer with law enforcement, guys. We all know that. Ever. Diane began to doubt the official conclusion about Valiante's death about 2 weeks after her daughter passed. While wandering grief-stricken through the woods near her home, Diane stumbled across her daughter's missing shoes and headband in a neat pile, which says they were placed there. Okay. They were nowhere near where bloodhounds had tracked her scent and more than a mile from where she had died on the train tracks. This struck Valiante's parents as odd, as her autopsy found nothing about her feet that suggested she'd walked a mile without wearing shoes. Now, think about this, you guys. Okay? What they showed a picture of her feet when they found her, okay? There were no cuts, scratches, other than dirt on her feet. There was nothing. If anybody's ever been anywhere near railroad tracks, the rocks that they have on the side of the tracks are very sharp and hard and protruding, and not to mention the dirt and the grut, and there's glass all around railroad tracks because they carry a lot of the train cars. They carry busted glass and broken glass to recycling plants to be redone. So on and so forth. There's a lot of metal pellets that are dropped. There's a lot of things that if you were to walk barefoot anywhere near around train tracks, it's going to cut you. Okay. You're going to have scratches, cuts, something. Her feet looked very, very well maintained on the bottoms of her feet. So she was not walking or running, is the point I'm trying to get at, anywhere near those train tracks. Okay. My opinion is that she was placed on the tracks, you guys, and that's why her limbs were dissected from her body, per se. Okay. Again, it says, looking at Tiffany's feet, they were pristine as my little granddaughter's feet, the Valiante lawyer said, or Paul D'Amato told WHYY. There's no cuts, no abrasions, no nothing. Fact and point. From there, other issues with the investigation into the girl's death rose to the surface. The Daily Beast reports that much of the evidence collected by investigators had been improperly stored, imagine that, and become contaminated, including Valiante's shirt, and New Jersey Transit had recovered an axe with red marks from the scene, which they later lost. New Jersey Transit lost axe. D'Amato told New Jersey, how do you lose a damn axe? And these are facts. How do you lose an axe? You can't. It's not like a little screwdriver or something like that. That's right, radio. Coal, oil, and grease are all around train tracks. Broken glass. Any train tracks I've ever been on or around had broken glass around it, okay? There's pieces of flint, copper, pellets, all sorts of stuff, you guys, that are all around train tracks. Period. Um, please send it to me, Molly. Send it to my email. I appreciate that. I do have one, but I have it in my phone, and I don't want to play all that to get it all. You know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead and send that to my email, Molly. I appreciate that so much. So good to helping me with this. Make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing showing Daisy that she walked there, in my opinion, at all. I think she was either carried or drugged and laid there, in my opinion. Okay. Diamato also pointed out that Marvin Oliveras, who was driving the train on the night of Valiente's death, changed his story a number of times. Red flag, in my opinion, 100%. And I watched this via Unsolved Mysteries too. Oliveras first described how she had darted in front of the train, then said he didn't see her until it was too late, then claimed that the girl had been crouching by the tracks. Diamato and the others believe that New Jersey Transit pushed the unaliving theory to avoid accepting blame for her death. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. What's more, strange rumors started to spread in town about what had happened to Tiffany. According to the Daily Beast, a Wawa manager told investigators that he'd heard his teenage employees talking about how she'd been abducted at gunpoint, forced to strip, and chased onto the train tracks. He implied that the friend who accused Valiente of using her debit card had somehow been involved in the abduction. A number of teenagers were interviewed by investigators. They claimed to have knowledge of what happened to Valiente, and Diamato led the charge in 2017 for authorities to reevaluate the case. While we hold on, while we strongly believe Valiente was unalived, the complaint allows for the possibility that the co-conspirators did not intend to unalive her, but that their violent actions still resulted in her death. Diamato said in 2017, one way or another, they were responsible for her being on those railroad tracks, and they must and will be held accountable for their their unconscious, oh my gosh, unconscionable conduct. Thank you. Good Lord, that was hard. To date, Tiffany's death remains officially listed as unalive, but her family and their supporters refuse to believe that she dropped her phone, walked 4 miles, and threw herself in front of a moving train. They're hoping that Netflix Unsolved Mysteries, which is set to feature her death in 2022, will bring renewed attention to their case, which is what we're doing, guys. When you look at everything that we have so far, you walk away and you say it wasn't unaliving, Diamato told WHYY, but then you just can't stop there and say, you just can't stop there. You say, okay, what happened? I agree. Okay, so that's that. Now, yeah, it's 100% BS, Christine. Makes me sick too. Really does. I don't know if you saw any of this before, Lisa, or if this is the first time.
It's the first time I saw it, but I like how they put the whole self-harm in there to make it look like that makes you suicidal when it doesn't.
Right, and this is why I want to.
But I will say she definitely had issues because she was self-harming.
Sure.
That I do know.
Not enough to throw herself in front of a train, though.
No, because self-harm is about them. They do it to punish themselves.
Right.
That's what that's about. It's a way that they take it out on us. For everything that happens, it's self-punishing and self-loathing, sadly, most of the time.
Yo, absolutely. Thank you,
but
Molly.
it does not in any way, shape, or form make them suicidal.
That's 100% true. All right, guys. This is the from DDC. It's a DNA diagnostics place. Um, let me blow this up a bit. And it's written from them to Mr. Diamato, the attorney. Of course, Tiffany Belliante. Dear Mr. D'Amato, the purpose of this letter is to inform you of the condition of the evidence from Tiffany's case submitted to DDC Forensics for serological and DNA analysis. During our examination, we noted some issues with the packaging and preservation of the evidence. Let's see here. Stop moving. Thank you. A number of the items were sealed with tape, but the initials of the individual who assessed the evidence and date this occurred were absent from the seals. In addition, we could see that the tape had been placed over tape that had been previously placed on the packages, making it difficult to observe the initials and date on the previous seals. The blood card, where did it go? From Tiffany did not have initials, and the date from the collector or the individual who packaged the bloody card. It is industry standard in forensics to maintain the chain of custody, which is a fact, of the evidence by opening the package in a new location each time and documenting who opened the evidence and when by labeling the seals with initials on the date. Now, here's how this works, guys. I've seen this firsthand. Anywhere you go, one person handles this. It goes into the whatever they're going to put it in an evidence container. It is then sealed, and then it is sealed again, and it is initialed by that one person. If those seals are broke, it's contaminated, period. Okay? You can't just break those seals, reseal it, and retape it and walk away. It has to be observed by an individual and a supervisor once again and resealed the correct way, not like this, which means basically in essence that this was probably tampered with some way. Okay? That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Why? I don't know. We'll get to that, but I'm just telling you, to me, from what this is saying, this was tampered with. That's bad. God, I'm tired of reading. Where'd it go? During the extraction and quantification of DNA from the blood card of Tiffany Belliante, male DNA was detected. A second extraction and quantification of DNA from the blood card of Tiffany was performed, and again, male DNA was detected. Y strain analysis was performed on the first extracted sample from the blood card, and a partial mixed Y strain DNA profile unsuitable for comparison was obtained, although a single female DNA profile was amplified from the blood card using STR analysis. We felt it necessary, where'd it go? Due to the male contamination and lack of initials and date on the seal, to further compare the DNA samples from Tiffany Belliante's mother and father to verify that the DNA from the blood card was in fact from Tiffany. Okay, how do I make this? 1 second. You're gonna let me blow it up a little bit. One package of evidence containing a stained white towel was placed in a paper bag that was not properly sealed, initialed, or dated. It is important that the evidence is completely sealed so trace evidence such as hairs can't fall out and to prevent contamination or access to the evidence. So again, this was tampered with, you guys, period. There's no doubt in my mind this was tampered with. Okay, so that is that one there. Let me see here. Now, let's go back. Mm, again, thank you, Molly. I had this stuff up and I had it on tabs and I closed it all out and it's gone. So thank you for there. It's funny that you have all this stuff too. It's very good. All right. You're hired, Molly. I've already told you that. I don't know how many times. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Chris. Anyway, I'm sorry. All right, guys. Blow it up. State of New Jersey, external. Wow. External examination. Okay. And this is the case number. Date of the autopsy was July 14th, 2015, 2 days after the date of death. Okay. Cause of death, multiple traumatic injuries, and manner of death, they're saying, is the unalive thing. This was signed by Daksha Shah, MD, FCAP, which was the designated medical examiner of that at that day. Um, oh, you're absolutely right, Joy. If Heather's here, she has that, but I don't know it right off the bat, Lisa. So
Give me
therefore,
2 seconds and I can get it for you.
no problem. That way you guys can see that real quick. There it is. Multiple traumatic injuries, and it that was the manner of death, which was, like I said, unaliving. I don't agree with it. Not even 1%. So very sad. Very sad. All right, now let's see here. Thank you, Christine, very much. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. What are we doing here, guys? Load up. What? It's my. Give me my damn Gmail back. Yeah, I have a huge problem with this case. I have the whole time, even from before when I read it a long time ago. It just drives me nuts. But come on, dang it. Let me see here. There we go. I mean, there's no other way to look at this, in my opinion, Breezy. It's not possible for it to go the way that their investigators are saying it went when it doesn't make any sense either. None. I'm sorry, but I can't go with it. I won't go with it, and that's all there is to it. Just as much as I do with these other cases. That's why I wanted to bring this one to you guys, because why is my email not leaving now? Come on. Thank you guys so much for that. Very much appreciated. You're kidding me, right? Yeah, my email won't load. I'm so sick of this computer. Or is this my stupid internet again? So irritated with this.
Where are you?
I'm here.
You're not on screen. You've disappeared.
Uh, I have no idea. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can't see you. Oh, there you are.
I
There
don't
you
know.
are. Welcome back.
I don't know how that happened. That was weird.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Let me try this again. What is he barking for? Oh, he'll be all right. It won't load. It won't load. Of course not. Why would it? Oh, I'm getting irritated, you guys. Okay, let's see here. No, I haven't seen that yet, Kat. Although I'm very, of course, she would agree with it because I still think she has something to do with it. That's ridiculous. Why is nothing loading?
On your computer?
Oh, here we go. Some of it did. Maybe refresh everything. That's stupid. Okay, give me that now. Oh, yeah, I got you. Uh, Cat, I understand. All right, and this one. Maybe it does. I
Have
don't
the
know.
same issue, Cat.
All right, there we go. It finally loaded. My system was just doing its own thing. Welcome, Haley. Good to see you. Good to see you. No worries. Welcome. Good to have you here, as always.
Hi, Haley.
All right, and this is the final pathological diagnosis. Okay. Uh, extensive crushing injuries covering the entire body. Number two, multiple organs recovered from scene and collected in separate bags. Fractures of all extremities and amputation of all extremities. Okay, now here's the problem I have with this. Okay, if she was hit by a train and it hit her body, yes, it can cause your body to kind of explode, but it's not going to cleanly cut the extremities from your body like that. Okay, what would do something like that is if somebody cut them, first of all, or you were laying on the tracks and the train ran you over. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. That's the problem I have with this.
It's a
And
problem.
yeah, exactly. It's a big problem. And I don't care what they say, that's, in my opinion, how this happened. It has nothing to do with, I think she was late on the tracks. I really do. Because,
Mm.
exactly, Molly. Thank you. 100%. Um, I'm just saying. Where's this at? All right. These are the problems with the here's the problems with the unaliving theory, you guys. Okay. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's actually thank you, Molly. Thank you so much. Where'd it go?
Mm.
Why was this not done? First and foremost, why was this not done? I understand that her body was was in a bad shape, but that could still be done. And why wasn't it done? Hold that thought and talk about that for a moment, if you would, Miss Lisa, with them if they want to. I'll be right back. I have to refill my cup. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yep. Christine, sorry, love. Your crisis line, love, is 988 chat. Is it not, love? Because that's what I got for it. That's what I was working out. The other numbers. All good. All good. Thank you. No. Lay down. Sorry, guys. Lay down. Don't want to hear you barking. She was on undergarments and they found. Yeah, that's what I'd like to know too, Molly, why they wouldn't check for that. Find that strange too. Okay. True, Daisy. Did I miss what you said before, Radio Gods? It's a good way to get rid of somebody if you think about it, really. Because you're guaranteed that most of the time they're going to say, yeah, love. Most of the time they're going to say that it was an unaliving. Probably not, Daisy. I know it blows my mind how many times LA can manage to either lose or wreck evidence, especially in this day and age. That just
Doesn't make
you got
sense.
to sit there and think it has to be deliberate most of the time when they manage to keep evidence from 50 years earlier when DNA and everything wasn't a thing.
Right. I agree with you 100%. Okay. There's multiple problems with the authorities' theory that the death of Tiffany Beliante, profiled in Unsolved Mysteries Volume 3, was an unaliving. Um, I guess there's trigger warnings in this. I'm just giving you guys a heads up on it. And spoilers for different things. So anyway. Okay. The theory that the violent death of Tiffany, profiled in Unsolved Mysteries, was a unaliving that has many problems. The premiere episode of Unsolved Mysteries Volume 3, Mystery at Mile Marker 45, detailed how on the evening of July 12th, 2015, the popular young athlete was hit, by a train nearly 4 miles from her home in Galloway Township, New Jersey. The investigation, overseen by the New Jersey Transit Police, concluded that Valiante's death was an unaliving, but her family expressed that they felt the investigation was rushed and believed that she was unalived. Since the original investigators declined to be interviewed for Unsolved Mysteries Volume 3, the episode Mystery at Mile Marker 45 leans heavily upon the theories of the Valiante family and the independent investigators who disagree with the assessment of the New Jersey Transit Police. Beyond the unaliving theory, the self-unaliving theory requiring Tiffany Valiante to engage in unlikely and uncharacteristic behavior, it also ignores some of the physical evidence discovered by the medical examiner. And then that's a big deal, guys, because if the ME finds actual physical evidence that goes against what they're saying, then why would you argue that? You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what bothers me about this. Really does. Additionally, there is reason to question the validity of the eyewitness accounts of Tiffany's tragic death. Why is this
But
up here? What is this? What's the matter?
if they disagree, do they not over there have the right to rule against them?
In my opinion, yeah.
So it is the same as what it is here. If the
I would think
coroner
so, yeah.
disagrees with, that's what I thought. It wouldn't be any
100%.
different over there.
Yep.
That's odd.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mm.
Here, well, I don't know how well you guys can see this.
And
White
no,
horse.
that's not a silly question, Daisy, at all.
Let me see it.
Oh, she wanted to know if your contact.
No, not at all, Daisy.
What was it?
By any means. What were you going to say, Lisa?
Exactly what you just saw. To contact Unsolved Mysteries.
No, not at all. That's definitely not a funny question, silly question, nothing. Thank you, Miss Brandy, very much. Very, very much. Okay, so this is where the impact site was. Okay. And then this is where the White Horse Pike is, so on and so forth. Just so you guys can see it, if you can see it. The question of how Tiffany came to the site of her death, close to the mile 45 marker along the local train tracks, excuse me, is, where'd it go? Again, one of the most perplexing mysteries posed by, why do I still have these on my head? Again, I do this all the time. Posed by Netflix true series Unsolved Mysteries, ignoring the Valiante family objections to the suggestion that Tiffany was in an self-unaliving mood. I guess we'll leave it that way. The basic scenario proposed by the New Jersey Transit Police seems unlikely, according to a 2014 statistical analysis conducted by Harvard School of Public Health. Most deaths by suicide, damn it, didn't mean to say that, sorry, occur in the home and involve less dramatic means than a moving train. Absolutely. Now, guys, that being said, think about something. We talked about this already once before on another case, maybe two other cases. And I know this from facts and from being in scenes, okay? Somebody that is going to unalive themselves is going through pain already, okay? Mental, emotional, whatever you want to call it. They're going through pain. Therefore, in turn, they're going to do something that is going to take them out of pain. And they're going to do the least painful thing possible that they can. Jumping in front of a train is not that, okay? Honestly, it's not. You want something, I mean, it is quick, but you want something quick and not messy and not, you know what I mean? And women or females have a tendency to not be so messy
I was just going
or
to say that for
so dramatic, like setting yourself on fire. Absolutely, easy. Thank you. Or jumping in front of a
vanity
train.
reasons.
Right. Typically,
Mm-hmm.
women will take medication or something that is a lot more comforting in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and then you're not going to go out in public and do it. Although, you guys, listen, I know about this scenario because this happened right here in my town where a woman walked up on the tracks and waited for a train that comes at 70 miles an hour to hit her. And they found pieces of her 5 miles away. Okay. And the only way they could
Mm-hmm.
distinguish who she was is by a tattoo on her abdomen when they found that piece of her abdomen. But here's the difference: that woman was very, 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 very high on certain types of drugs and didn't even know where she was. And she had been drinking. She walked out of a bar down the road, walked out onto the tracks at 3 o'clock in the morning, and kaboom. So I think she may have known what she was doing, but didn't know what she was doing at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yep. Sure does.
Mm-hmm.
The same as they're not going to strip themselves either.
No, that's the other part of that. She
Mm.
wouldn't step out of her shoes. She wouldn't take her headband off. She's not going to take her pants off. Why? Okay. No, no, no. Anyway, moving on. Um, again, like I said, most death by unaliving, self unaliving, occur in the home and involve less traumatic means than a moving train. Correct. Given that the lengthy walk that authorities suggest Tiffany Valiante undertook in the hours before her death make little sense. But the Valiante family believed the location where Tiffany's body was found would be an ideal place for a murder. It very much would be, okay, because it's hidden. Everything is hidden out of sight. You cannot see what's going on there behind trees and bushes and whatnot. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna show you this whole map thing here in a minute. The Valiante family discussed the remote area in detail in Unsolved Mysteries. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch this, go check this one out. It's interesting. I can't show it to you guys as much as I want to because you know what's going to happen. So I can give you everything else around this. You guys can go check this out yourselves, and we can come back to this later on another date. But I just want you guys to see it, okay? Um, because I am going to follow up with this. I'm not just letting this one go. Now, describing it as desolate and creepy, nestled between the train line and the White Horse Pike Freeway. So this whole area, guys, right in here, you can't see anything going on in here, okay? On the other sides. Anything can go on inside this area. Period. There would be considerable background noise capable of muffling a murder, considering if there's trains rolling by and all sorts of stuff, you can't hear screams and yells and this and that. It is the belief of the Valiante family that the site was chosen for that reason, and that either Tiffany's body was abandoned on the train tracks or that she fled there after being assaulted. I think she was taken there, in my opinion. Okay, so here's the map. All right. I don't know how well you can see it. Thank you. Here we go. Another oddity in the case was that Tiffany was only wearing underwear at the time of her death. Her family later recovered her shoes and headband nearly 2 miles from the site of her death. The conclusion of the investigators was that Tiffany must have stripped down during her walk through the woods and spent the final leg of her journey walking barefoot along the train tracks. Bullshit. We know that that's not true. Okay? All right, here's a picture of how her mother found her shoes, just like this. Okay? They were here. You see where my pointer or my pointer. Yeah, you know what I
Yep.
mean. My cursor's right here. This is
Yep.
where her shoes were. Okay, this is where she came from, her home, when she had the
Yep.
conversation with her mother. The shoes are over here. The impact site on the train is way up here. Okay, 1.75 miles. Explain to me why she would take her shoes and her headband off and leave them sit. And you see how her shoes are sitting? That's how her mom found them. Almost as if she was yanked out of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't even look like she took her shoes off to me, because if you take your shoes off like this, you can't jump out of them and they'd be sitting there side by side like that. Typically, when you take shoes off like this, you have to use one foot to pull the other one off, right or wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep. You're 100% right.
right. You take your toes to pop the other one off. They wouldn't be sitting like that otherwise now, there would they? No.
No.
Somebody yanked
Nope.
her out of those shoes. She didn't jump out of them. She's not Wonder Woman, okay? Period. And then the headband was laying like over here a little bit further. But anyway, that's how they were found, and that's why the mother took the picture of them like that. That's how she was standing, and they were yanked. I'm sorry, she was yanked right out of her shoes. So,
okay, I've got the stats for you on how many suicide in front of trains over in America.
uh-huh.
And the stats are that, okay, this is between 2012 and 2017.
Right.
There was 3,687 lives that have been lost, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Out of these strikes, 1,332 were officially deemed an unaliving,
Right.
while 2,355 were non-unaliving.
Self-unaliving. Is that what you mean? Like self-analyzing or?
No, that they were accidents.
Okay.
So 2,355 of them were accidental.
Right. And the
Okay,
other
so
number was possible self-unaliving.
1,332, yes.
So we see what the bigger number is, right?
Yep.
Okay. As I was saying, like it just doesn't make sense. Okay. So she took her. Let's go with their story. What law enforcement is saying. She took her shoes off herself over here in this wooded area, mind you. There's sticks and leaves and all that. She walked over into the woods, took her shoes off, and came back out and walked all the way down here and jumped in front of a train barefoot. And mind you, this little section right here, can you see where I'm at? She had to stop. She turned here and walked down the tracks to that spot where I said all that glass and rock and everything else is barefoot, mind you. She did that.
Yeah.
After walking all that way. And I don't even have the exact time table for this, but I believe when I saw it before, it doesn't make sense. So I don't believe that, guys. I just don't. Okay. I can't. So, again, the conclusion of the investigators was that Tiffany Valiante must have stripped down during her walk through the woods, which makes no sense, and spent the final leg of her journey walking barefoot along the train tracks. Does any of that make any sense to you guys at all?
No.
I mean, honestly, think about it. It makes no sense to me. None. So, honest evidence would seem to support the Tiffany Valiante murder theory, favored by the Valiante family to explain Tiffany's death. Tiffany's body was cremated before a full autopsy was conducted by the medical examiner, and zero rape kit was utilized to check for signs of sexual assault before her death, presuming that Tiffany did suddenly decide to disrobe, as in the investigators' theory. The rest of her clothing should have been discovered in the same area. However, as Tiffany's mother Diane noted in the Unsolved Mysteries episode, Mystery at mile marker 45, the shorts and shirt Tiffany was wearing earlier in the evening have never been found.
Oh,
That
okay.
that says a lot to me.
Yep.
Where'd they go? Somebody took them with them, either to hide them or for whatever a trophy, maybe. I
I
don't
was going
know.
to say that.
Okay. This is 100% murder, you guys. I'm sorry, but it is. And that's my theory and or opinion. Okay. Now look at this. This is her foot, guys. Okay. Yes, it's dirty. Okay. There are no scratches, no cuts, no abrasions, no nothing on her foot that would make me believe that there was anything whatsoever to show that she walked any distance barefoot. And you can't make me believe that she did. If you were to clean this off and get all that dirt, you guys can see scratches and cuts and abrasions. AJ, good to see you. Sorry I didn't notice you till now. If you're taking off, AJ, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry. But do you guys see anything whatsoever that looks like she walked down some train tracks or walked 1.75 miles barefoot, even on the road? And you can't see. That's another thing too. Thank you, Daisy, for saying that. And I'm sorry, Lisa, I didn't mean to interrupt. At nighttime, it's going to be harder to see where you're going. In turn, you could step on more things. Okay. That's my other point to this. That's a good point, Daisy. It really is.
You know where you just had your cursor?
Over
at the
here?
Back of her foot. No, come to the back of her foot. Go a little bit forward. Let's see that line there?
Right here?
No. See, come
right
over.
Here.
Just, yeah, there.
Yeah.
That is the most weird thing. That's an impression. It's not a cut. Yeah, it's an impression of something.
That's indented into her skin. I don't know what that
is.
Unless, you know what that looks like to me? It looks like if she was laid on the train tracks, it looks like where her foot was pressed against the rail.
I did think that.
That's exactly what that looks like to me. And you too. I know. She agrees with me. That is exactly what that looks like, is an indentation from the rail from her foot being pushed against it with her legs up there. Because again, guys, she was 6'2". Remember that. So her knees had to be bent to an extent. Okay. And they probably put her up against that and propped her feet against that rail so she would stay there, of course. That's exactly what that indentation looks like.
Yeah, I spotted that straight away.
Yeah, and they're actually really clean considering, I mean, they're dirty from being outside in the rain and the dirt and all that, but there's no scratches, cuts, nothing. Nothing at all that you would think to see on bare feet.
No.
And I'm sure she took care of her feet, guys, because she was a volleyball player. Again, most women do anyway, lotion their feet and do this and do that and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Her hands too, Dago, because most sets of tracks from forest area are on a hill. That's right. That's what I was saying before. The sides of the tracks have rock beds built up on them to raise the tracks up because they're up higher than what ground level is. So they have that rock bed there, okay? On either side. Okay, the indent was there. The indent there was after death, or it would not be there.
Right.
That's
right. No, that would be, yes.
I know what you're saying.
Be like she was leaning on something when she was alive, but she was still leaning on it after she passed.
Meaning the dent Like if they laid her on the tracks and then the train ran her over, that's yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
She may have been alive or unconscious, but still alive when she was laid on the tracks. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd like to see the rest of her photos.
Yeah, I know. Um, the train which hit Tiffany inflicted intense damage on her body, impacting with such force that all four of her limbs were apparently torn from her body. Maybe. Despite this, the medical examiner's report and crime scene photos discussed in the Netflix series showed Tiffany's feet were in shockingly good condition. This was apparent despite their conclusion that Tiffany walked nearly 2 miles barefoot over a path made of jagged rocks and broken glass to reach the impact site. Amen. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
The incongruity was seized upon by H. Lewis Hausman, an independent medical examiner who was brought in to analyze the evidence in the case after the Valiante family filed a civil suit in 2017. Good for them. Hausman outlined her findings in the Unsolved Mysteries episode, but originally published her research in a 30-page report. Hausman concluded that had Tiffany walked the route proposed by the original investigators barefoot, it is more probable than not that her feet would have shown severe damage. 2 miles is a long way to walk barefoot, guys. Think about it. Unless you're walking on sand or effing cotton or carpet, they're not going to look that great. Okay. It is more, yeah, I said that already. An examination of Tiffany's feet in the crime scene photos shown no abrasions or damage to the bottom of her feet. And again, the eyewitnesses' accounts kept changing. Okay. Unsolved Mysteries revealed that there was only one eyewitness to the death of Tiffany, a student engineer who had only been on the job for 14 months. However, on the initial accident report, the student engineer and senior engineer in charge both claimed that Tiffany jumped in front of the train before they could stop it. 6 days later, after being put under oath, the senior engineer changed their story and denied having seen Tiffany Valiante's death. As they were talking to the conductor and had their back turned, at the moment of impact, the student engineer also changed their story, saying that they did. Can you see?
I can see.
They can't see you, though.
Mm-mm.
Why not? I wonder. Oh, there you go. Say hi, everybody. What are you doing?
Pokemon decorate.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to get a little squeeze on her before she walked away. Okay, now. Okay, as they were talking to the conductor. Wait a second. Okay. I think I just read that, but claimed that Tiffany jumped in front of the train before they could stop it. 6 days later, after being put under oath. Yeah, I read that. Okay. The senior engineer changed their story and denied having seen Tiffany Valiante's death. They were talking to the conductor and had their back turned at the moment of impact. But then at the same time, the student engineer also changed their story, saying that they did not see Tiffany until I was right on top of her. According to Unsolved Mysteries case study, the student engineer changed their story a third time. Now, this is the one that caught my attention, okay? There's Heather. Welcome, sis. Good to see you. 10 days after the second deposition, this time claiming to have seen something on the tracks from a half-mile away before Tiffany jumped out of the woods on the tracks.
Right.
That's the one that pisses me off. Because I think that's what actually happened. Because I think she was laying on the tracks, unconscious, and they just weren't paying attention as to what it was and thought maybe it was an animal or something else and did not even attempt to slow down until it was too late. Because we know how long it takes to slow a train down, guys. It takes a lot longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, H. Hausman also noted these inconsistencies in her report and discussed them in the Unsolved Mysteries profile on the Tiffany case. Hausman suspected that the student engineer may have gone into shock and misremembered the details, describing the transcripts of his deposition as rambling. As if he was not sure what he had seen, Hausman further suggested that the engineer may have perceived Tiffany's body being thrown upward by the impact of the train hitting her body as jumping. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In either case, the continual charges make his testimony suspect and call into question the theory that Tiffany Valiante's death was a unaliving. What's up, kid?
Hey.
So that is a fact. If a train is coming 80 miles an hour full force and there's something on those tracks, okay, when it hits that thing before it goes into impact mode, it hits that's going to come up off the tracks and come up to the top of the train, then force hit the top of the train and blow outward. That's how that would work. Therefore, it does look like when you scoop, when it comes in and first hits it, it's going to look like because it goes up that she did jump. But when you're in shock, knowing you're hitting a human being, what is your mind going to do? You know what I'm saying? It's too bad they don't have dash cams on trains.
Mm.
I'm sorry to hear that, Heather.
Yeah, sorry, Heather. Hope he gets better soon. He, she. Sorry.
I think that is...
Yeah, that's a different one.
Okay, that's different there. All right. All right, that was the other one that I was looking at too, but we're not going to get into that today. But anyway, so
I would have liked to see
there's
the other
that.
foot photo
Let me go
too
back to where I
to
was.
see
Both feet, you mean?
Yeah, to see if there's an indent very similar
Yeah.
to that on the other foot.
On one, yep, I agree. I
And on any
absolutely
other part
agree.
of her body. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And I wouldn't have minded seeing her hands either.
No.
I really wouldn't have. Just for a typical reason, you know, nothing.
I'm the same. I can look at autopsies photos. I can watch autopsies, and it's not that I'm morbid.
No, because I know what we're doing. We know why we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Heather, very much.
2015.
Tiffany Valiante's death. What?
Who just asked that?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, Breezy
Somebody
did.
asked what
It's
year it
okay.
happened. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they can't. When this one happened out here, they were talking to the conductor, and they said it takes over a mile to stop the train. Well over a mile.
Yeah.
That's with them standing on the brakes. So if you see that right when you're right on top of it, you ain't stopping nothing. And they can't yank it too hard either because they'll derail the train. That's the problem. If they hit those brakes too hard, that'll derail the train. They have to do it at a slow aspect. That way it doesn't happen like that, because that can cause more damage and problems than anything. Okay, so this one, it's been more than 7 years, but the sudden 2015 demise of Hamilton Township, New Jersey teenager Tiffany Ida Mae Valiente has unfortunately continued to bewilder uh, people to this day. After all, as explored in Netflix Unsolved Mysteries, Mystery at Mile Marker 45, while the authorities have never suspected any foul play, her family wholeheartedly believes she was murdered. Unalived, sorry. So now, if you wish to learn more about the same with specific focus on her official cause of death as well as everything else that transpired, we've got necessary details for you. Well, that's what we're here for. How did Tiffany die? It honestly appeared as if she was leading her best possible life when everything turned upside down on the evening of the 12th, of 2015. Around the suburban rural community of Mays Landing, not only had the 18-year-old graduated from Oak Crest High School a mere 4 weeks prior, but she was also set to attend New York's Mercy College on a full volleyball scholarship in the fall. In fact, Tiffany had reportedly already landed the crucial position of middle starter, in almost unprecedented feat for a freshman athlete. Yet, she never once got the chance to prove her medal. That's probably because she was so tall. Because height is a really good deal in that type of sport. So, all right, yeah. Are you able to see this enough to maybe read it, Lisa?
According to reports, Tiffany left the cousin's graduation.
I just wanted to. I was going to ask because I have to run to the bathroom again. I'm sorry. That's all. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
According to reports, Tiffany's cousin. Tiffany left a cousin's graduation party on the fateful evening to walk back home across the street, only to soon have an argument with a friend over a credit card use. Even her parents, Diana and Stephen Valentine, I won't say their last name, returned shortly after 9:15 p.m. and her mother spoke to her regarding the same. But they still remember she didn't seem distressed, despite the fact she had misused the card. However, per their active D cameras outside, the teen walked per their that's how it's worded. Per their active D cameras outside, the teen walked away along at 9:28 p.m. just to have entirely disappeared by the time they come out looking for her literally a minute later at 9:29 p.m. Sorry, guys. Oh, I can't roll it down. Therefore, immediate and extensive search for Tiffany was launched by her family as well as nearby relatives, especially considering the 6'2" girl simply couldn't have vanished into thin air, yet to no avail. So it was around midnight when one of her uncles scoring near the railways learned she'd been hit by a train at mile marker 45 along. Yeah, I can't roll it up, guys. Sorry. So I'm not depressed and don't show it. My grandpa did that. I agree with that, AJ. They don't, however, because unaliving is such a very few of them are planned. It's done as a spur of the moment thing most of the time. Well, Daisy, oh no, I've dropped that down now. If you look it up yourself, just type in statistics on unaliving on train tracks in the USA, and it actually goes state to state as well. It breaks it down, but it's not as many as what you think it is. Opposed to, like I said, there was 1,300. This was what they say, 2010, I think it was, to 2017, if I remember correctly, something like that. Then, and 2,300 and something were accidents. Yeah, there was an axe found, but they lost the axe. I don't know how you lose an axe. I don't know how you lose any evidence. I don't understand in this day and age, as I stated earlier, how if back 40, 50 years ago, they collected evidence like clothing and stuff back then, not knowing about anything about DNA and everything we have now, and still managed to keep them so you could get DNA and evidence off them, that this day and age, more LE seems to be losing evidence or they're not storing it properly. It just blows my mind. And I think it boils down to a lack of caring. Yeah, Molly, they said there was red marks on the axe they lost. Not necessarily, Daisy. I believe they might have had it, but it's gone. Because it's a case if you look at it and it boils down to it, it is a case they really did not care about, because already they'd made up their minds, and I can guarantee it, that this girl has unalived herself. We're good to go.
I'm back.
That's
Thank you.
why no evidence was worried about. Yep, sorry. You
No,
may
for
now
what?
read from there
I'm
on.
sorry. How far did
I
you get down?
couldn't scroll it. I was trying to scroll it.
No,
I
I
couldn't
know.
scroll it.
I if I figured you probably stopped right around where it says 9:29 p.m. Or did you go further?
No, where it says 1 and then the red. No, stop moving it. Stop moving it. When one of her uncles, so here, so 1, 2, 3, fourth line down, when one of her uncles.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yep.
All right.
So
When
you
one
can
of
read
her
on from
uncles
there.
scouring near the railway learned she'd been hit by a train at mile marker 45 along Prague Avenue, 4 miles from her residence at 11:16 p.m. Since the commuter, 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Joseph.
One second, everybody. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My daughter was trying to contact me. I guess my son-in-law found some toys or something that in a anyway, you guys don't care, but my apologies. Welcome, Star. Good to see you. You as well, Star. Star's been with me since very close to the beginning. She's just not in here too often, but welcome and good to see you, Star. Back to where I was. At 11:16 p.m. Since the commuter vehicle was going at 80 miles per hour, for lack of a more accurate phrase, the teen had essentially been blown to, and that's no lie, guys. That does happen. Her death was officially ruled a self-unaliving within 48 hours. Tiffany was standing on the tracks, but did not move when the train's engineer sounded the horn and applied emergency brakes. A New Jersey Transit spokesperson once said her hands and legs were hence ripped apart from her body in brutal directions, and her face, as well as her head, were completely crushed. According to the initial medical examiner's report, on the other hand, her toxicology report was clean. For whoever asked that question, there was nothing in her system, guys. Nothing. Thank you, Molly, once again. Me and you're going to have a talk, Miss Molly. You do a whole lot for me. I really appreciate that. Where's that at? Yeah, her toxicology report was completely clean, guys. Plus, it was strange that her remains were clad in only undergarments, yet her cause of death was still ascertained as multiple traumatic injuries. Now, was Tiffany's death self-unaliving or somebody else unalived her? Okay, let's see here. This might be something we already looked at. I don't think it was, though. Why did that come up like that? I don't want to see that. What the hell? Yeah, that's not what I was looking at. Come on now, quit. Okay. While many believe Tiffany had no reason to take her own life, a few bits of evidence do point towards it being a probable move, because it would free her from the sense of loneliness she felt. Although she was very popular, some of Tiffany's friends told detectives she was often sad about not fitting into the social norms. The teen never explicitly spoke of self-unaliving or self-offing, yet she'd allegedly cut twice. Then there's the rumor that some of the girls Oakcrest High simply wished to experiment with Tiffany after she reportedly came out as gay in early 2015, merely 6 months before her passing. As if that's not enough, things at home weren't all sunshine and roses for Tiffany either. She'd been having serious issues with her otherwise doting mother, Diane, from at least 2014 onwards. The duo had just been arguing more and more as time passed, but even Child Protective Services were called to their family residence on 3 separate occasions within the year. One of them was because a school teacher had noticed heavy bruises on the young star athlete's arms, which Diane quickly admitted to having caused by punching her following a heated dispute. Well, what the hell? Why are you punching your kid? That's not cool, but I still don't think that, no. The mother-daughter duo was ordered into counseling, wherein they both opened up enough during their first and only session that the therapist described them as a stable family. The professional indicated they had trouble communicating properly, yet there was no abuse. Nonetheless, it's imperative to note Tiffany went away following the whole credit card blow up. As for whether Tiffany was killed by someone else, unalived by someone else entirely, there's even more possible evidence around it, starting with the fact that she was barefoot and partially nude, but had left home fully clothed. Welcome, Cheryl. Good to see you again.
I would like to know how much that she used on that credit card.
Me too. Yeah, that would be an interesting, something interesting to look into personally.
Mm.
Because of the headlight-like shadows in the deer camp and her cell phone being found on the ground within minutes of her vanishing, the theory is someone picked Tiffany up in their car before attacking her. That's why, even though her remains didn't have shoes on, her feet were not damaged in the way they should have been if she'd walked into the trash glass filled railroad to die by self unaliving. In fact, her shoes, along with her headband, a keychain, as well as a sweatshirt, were located by her mother while on a walk 2 weeks following the incident, just to be handed into evidence. Okay,
That's
this
weird, isn't
spot was
it?
roughly. I'm sorry.
That's weird, isn't it? That
That's
the
it. Yes, very
that
weird.
was the only piece of clothing found.
Uh huh. Where are the
And
pants
it,
and the shirt,
mm-hmm,
or the shorts and the shirt, I should say?
yep.
And it makes me wonder if there was something on that shirt and or those shorts. That's why they took them with them, because they didn't want any of their DNA and or something else to show up. Period.
Or here's another possibility. You know, the whole credit card thing. I wonder if the shorts and the shirt were paid for from the credit card.
That's a very good point, Lisa.
Mm.
Well, here's the thing, Cheryl. That's the different. That's the weird thing. You're absolutely right that the G force, whether somebody pushed her under that train or she just fell, would have taken her shoes off. But here's the difference. I showed a little bit of a map earlier. Um, the site of the impact and where her shoes were found were 2.5 miles apart from each other. There's the problem with that. If she would have had her shoes on when she got hit by the train, yes, absolutely. You're right. They would have taken her right out of her shoes. The shoes were removed before she got within 2 miles of the train. That's the problem with that. You see what I'm saying? Um, this spot was roughly a mile from the Valiante home, indicating that it was still so far away from the tracks that Tiffany couldn't have made it by herself, especially as she was terribly afraid of the dark. The fact none of these items were ever sent for forensics, for forensic analysis, or that the train engineers gave several contradictory statements regarding what happened with the teen, didn't help her case either. However, per the Netflix episode, one of the strangest aspects in the presence of blood already at the scene, she could have been killed. Is the presence of blood at the scene? I'm sorry. Okay, and there's another thing too. If there was blood, it could have been somebody else's blood that was on that clothing as well, which is why it was taken with them. Okay. If there was any kind of
Mm.
an argument, if there was a struggle, somebody got scratched, something. You know what I mean? Um, 1 second, everyone. 1 second. Sorry, there's a lot going on around me today.
Here's another thing too, Daisy. Mike, I- I'll say 4 of my daughters as teenagers were afraid of the dark, but one especially is afraid of the dark, but could still walk around outside in the dark like that. She just couldn't handle being inside a house in the dark, nor could she handle walking around here in the dark, as in outside here. But to walk down the road, she could happily do it, if you could understand that. And I do know a lot of teenagers and 18-year-olds that can do that. You're right. That's the bit I find strange too, is the fact that they couldn't find her
Sorry, everybody.
shorts or her
My
shirt.
wife had to ask me a question about her paycheck and stuff like that. Sorry. Where do we go? Okay. She could have been unalived earlier and disposed of there to rid the evidence. Based on all the compelling evidence, we believe that the likelihood of Tiffany Valiante being unalived is significantly higher than of her dying by unaliving herself. The worst part in all of this is that although Tiffany's family was able to get the evidence sent for testing by pursuing legal routes, no results could be obtained owing to mishandling by officials as per reports, as we talked about in the beginning. The latter apparently not just misplaced the aforementioned keychain, but also lost an actual axe with red markings found near the railway crash site, which obviously frustrated everybody involved. A March 2022 report by the family's forensic analyst read, "We were able to obtain very little DNA for comparison due to the manner in which the evidence was collected and maintained." The report further stated there was moisture-inducing bacterial contamination. We should mention that the teen's body can never be re-examined since she was cremated days after the incident. I don't understand why people do this or allow this to happen when you know that there's doubts in your mind to the case. The same scenario that happened with Kylie Rodney. They had her cremated when thank God that the ME and or the coroner or the ME, I should say, took tissue samples, which they should have done in some senses with this too. There should have been a rape kit done, things like that. Okay. This is where I'm saying that the law enforcement has dropped the ball over and over and over in all these cases, and it's disgusting to me anymore. It really is, because we never know the truth anymore, and these people don't get true justice, as I'm advocating for. It's sad, it's scary in some senses too, because I don't trust a lot of them anymore. I don't really trust a lot of them anymore, guys. It's sad, and we should be able to trust our law enforcement officials to do the right thing in these cases. God forbid, and please, God forbid anything ever happens in my family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to trust because of everything I've seen. It's not a good thing. Thank you, Miss Heather.
And I'll guarantee you the misplaced axe is another word for we threw it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find a lot of evidence gets thrown out.
It does. Or mishandled, or like with Deborah Collier's case, left around, laying around.
Yeah.
In this case in particular, I know for a fact her uncle and a friend of his went walking in that area, and they found pieces of her still laying by the tracks, guys. And things. They picked up a bracelet of hers and gave it to her mother. Pieces of her body were laying around with bones attached to it still. Things like that. And this is her family, her uncle that watched her grow up as a child, that has her in his heart and in his mind, a visual of this little girl that he knew. And he's picking up pieces of her, putting it in bags, thinking that it's something important they needed to have because they didn't clean up their I mean, come on. How sad is that? And how disgusting is it that he had to do something like that? You know what I mean? It just completely and totally disgusts me. It really does. I'm not perfect, and I know that these guys' jobs are hard, but damn it, do it right. That's all I'm saying. Do it right. And if you don't want to do it, then go the hell home and make room for somebody that does want to do it. That's all I'm saying.
or when you stop caring, leave your job.
Let somebody know. Yeah, exactly. When you stop caring, put your hands up and say, I'm done. Make room for somebody that does care, because I know there's people out there that will do it right.
Yep.
Yet a 2018 medical review did uphold the self-unaliving ruling. The Valiante family is currently offering a $40,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Tiffany's possible killer. So if you know anything, please do not hesitate to call 609-927-0001. If anybody has any information about this case by some weird chance, please contact that number. As we will as well if we figure anything out. And I think that's it as far as that goes. It does, AJ. It really,
Yeah,
really, really does.
I would like to know how much was used on that credit card.
Me as well.
And
I
two,
agree.
if the shorts and the shirt that's missing were actually paid for by that credit card.
Yeah,
and that would explain why
somebody taking back what
why they were taken.
Well, that's a very good reason. And or like I said, if somebody thought for whatever reason that their DNA could have possibly been on, you know, if she was SA'd possibly, then somebody might be worried that there is seminal fluids or skin, something, you know, DNA on those shorts and or the shirt. So, you know, that's very, very possible.
Then they would take the underwear too.
That's possible too. And the underwear were on, so it makes me wonder if that ever happened. Or if it, like what you're saying, is if the clothing was taken as in a more of a the principal fact of the fact that it may have belonged to that person and not her. You know what I mean? So yeah. Or again.
And the only reason it makes me think like that is they found her jumper, right? They didn't find the shirt, the shorts. They found her shoes and they found the headband.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I know they take trophies. But that would be more along the lines of the bracelet she was wearing or one bit of clothing, not
and
two
I don't
bits
think
of clothing.
Yeah, I don't think this was a trophy killing either.
No.
I think this was a vengeance thing. And very possibly could be because of the stolen credit card. Okay. Which goes in line with what you're saying, and that's why I agree with you. Here, let me see something here. I think this is the last part of it, guys. For all my rambling today, but I'm really, really into this case, you guys, and it really bugs me that her parents have to deal with this, knowing that that's probably not what happened, because we're all strangers on the outside, and we're looking at it on a secondary glance after it's been investigated and not part of the family, not being close to it, and we all think the same thing that her parents do, and the other investigators think. Truthfully, that's the problem with this. Okay. Was Tiffany Valiante's wait a minute. Was Tiffany Valiante murdered? Big announcement. This was October 17th of 2022. So this was just last month, guys, the end of last month, okay? Hence the reason why this case has started to heat back up. And as we always say, we got to keep these cases hot so they're not forgotten. Especially case this girl had just started her life, didn't even have a chance to start her life as an adult, and was taken, and it's not fair. And I truly believe it was somebody else murdered her. I don't believe that it was what they're calling it, and that's my problem. So therefore, that's why we're looking at this case, guys. What happened to Tiffany Valiante? A young girl was reportedly hit by an Atlanta-bound train after a bitter face-off with her parents about money. She had stormed out of the house, and later they identified her body in the morgue. The police, through the medical examiner, ruled it self-unaliving. But her mother mysteriously found her headband and shoes while any walk. 2 weeks later, parents of Tiffany regret that they had agreed to close her suicide case, self-unaliving case, and are now confident enough to increase the reward for any information about it. What's up, honey? Um, if anybody knows what happened to Tiffany Valiante and can help with some information about her death, it could lead to a reward of $40,000. She was influenced by people in her life. Her parents inferred that she could never have taken her own life. They also feel the same way as her parents say. Her father, Stephen, and mother, Diane, conveyed to their lawyer, pal D'Amato, they believe Tiffany was driven to her death by accident or deliberately thrown toward the train.
Hang on for a minute. Joe, Izzy, she didn't have her shoes on, love. Her shoes were taken off 2 miles before even the train tracks. So she had taken off her shoes and the headband
That
2 miles before she even got to the train tracks, love.
yes, she stepped off in the woods somewhere and I think she was taken out of her shoes, like I said, and then walked, or, in my opinion, was driven to that site. And I showed you that spot in between the tracks in that area where I think she could have been assaulted and or whatever, knocked out, and then was laid on the tracks afterwards, or she was unalived and then laid on the tracks to cover the crime scene up, basically, and make it look like it was a self-offing situation. That's how I think that went.
It was one of her friends' cards.
One
she
of her
used,
friends,
wasn't
Molly. Yeah. And I'd like to get my. You're breaking up really bad, Lisa. I don't know what happened. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
And you're breaking up on my end.
Right. Okay, so what are you doing? Okay, thank you. She's in one of her silly moods today.
That's beautiful.
That's my baby. I love when she's home. Netflix is airing this story in their next episode on Tuesday. The high reward of the show might encourage more people to come forward with their versions of it, and finding an axe at the scene of the death also heightens the veracity of their thinking. The house is now remortgaged to pay for the cost. That's sad. That is sad. And that is it. All right, Molly, give me a second here. Let me go to my email again because I want to see this. I'm sure Jack too. They about the axe in the episode. It does too, David. I agree. Started off at almost nothing. But we don't either. We don't watch TV really either unless I'm watching football or the ID channel or YouTube. That's all I watch. I agree, Daisy. I think it was too humiliator for one.
Yep.
Which would be another reason why she was stripped down. Humiliation. I agree. I really do. All right, I think this is it. Is this from you, Molly? Probably is. No, it's not. Damn it. Why did I open that? I don't want to see what that is. This one is not either. Stop that. My computer's doing its own thing. Stop that. Here we go. I found you. It's
Lance,
not.
do you watch Fighters? I won't say the rest of their name. With Dan, if you're into exploring videos.
Well, you can say whatever on here. I don't mind.
Okay. Exploring with Fighters from the UK.
I know, easy. They show a lot of the reruns now. Okay. All right. That is a picture of the axe right there. Let's blow that up. It's not your typical axe either. Well, there's that, and that just amazingly disappeared. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, real interesting.
Very, very interesting. Stuff like that drives me nuts. Sorry. Did you need to see it again, Lisa?
No, I'm right.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking at the markings on the blade, that's all.
I was trying to see it too, and it looks like it's mostly rust. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Very hard to tell.
Yeah, it does look like it's mostly rust except for a couple of bits there.
It is a Fisker's brand axe, Daisy.
Mm. I agree, Lance. You do, Heather? What have I done?
That's where we're at about now, guys. If anybody has any thoughts or opinions on this, we would definitely love to hear them. The number's 234-703-4047. Give us a call. Let us hear your beautiful voices. Tell us what you think. Give us some help on this, guys. We can come up with something. Maybe we can help them out, you know? I would definitely like to know who the card belonged to. We're going to have to do a little diving, I think, a little bit more on this and pick up some names. Thought about contacting her parents to see if they have any interest in talking to me. And maybe we can move forward that way and see what happens. I did, by the way, you guys, for those of you that didn't know, I did get a call back on the Charlotte Nagy case, that local case around here that I had covered with you guys last week, I think it was. It's a cold case from 28 years ago. They did call her brother, Ali, did call me back and wants to do a live interview with us here live. I spoke to him for an hour and a half the other night, and we talked about some stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can't talk about because the case is still open. And he's more than happy to sit here and talk to us for a little while about it and give us some tips and tops. He is a retired sheriff's deputy as well. So that'll be a good show for us to have the one night, and where we can all sit and ask him questions and whatnot of what we want to do in regards to that. So we will be talking with Ali Nagy, Charlotte Nagy's brother, in regards to her case. And meanwhile, with this one, like I said, guys, if there's anybody anything you want to talk about at all, exactly, Lance. That's why I involved you guys 100% in this, because you guys are part of this with me and Miss Lisa. You know, I will never, ever, ever say I don't want help, because I do. I want you guys all to be involved if you want to be. Good to see you, Strike First. How are you doing today, bud? So, anybody wants to call in, please do. And I thank you guys for going through that whole thing with me today. I do. Miss Molly, thank you so much for everything you did today. That was awesome. Moderator, I'm not ending the show by any means, guys. I'm just saying, moderators, thank you for everything you do. You guys are doing great stuff today. I appreciate it. And I'm sitting here eating caramel corn. How about that? My granddaughter sold this, I think, this year as their little fundraiser for school in
I
kindergarten.
wonder. I love caramel popcorn. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you reached out to the family, whether they would be happy to talk to you.
I
Because
absolutely.
I'd be interested just to know how much was on that credit card.
Me too.
That
I'd
is
be
really
interested
stuck
to
in
know.
my head.
I'd be interested to know who the card belonged to and how close that those two were, and if there was anybody else involved in between the two of those two, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Now, I do know something
And
that wasn't. There was something that wasn't talked about in this, and I'm wondering if this is who this was. Tiffany recently, I think it was the day or 2 days before this happened, had broken up with her girlfriend, her recent girlfriend. Okay. Now, I don't know if the girlfriend is the one that owned the debit card. And if she was, that would make sense. And it could have been that was something that was never brought up in anything I talked to you guys about. I'm very jealous, Molly. I love Totino's pizzas. There's little tiny single pizzas are amazing. But yeah, so that's something else I want to look into. I want to look into who her previous girlfriend was that she just broke up with. But according to what I understood from what I read years ago, that there was no friction between the two of them, and it was a very clean break. They had decided to be friends, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But then who's to say that's real? Do you know what I mean?
It probably was up until a point where you're using somebody else's debit card or credit card.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's who the debit card belonged to. I mean, how else would you get somebody's debit card like that? And Tiffany doesn't come off as a common criminal to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
The other thing is too, if they found receipts in her room, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know what was purchased with that debit card.
Mm-hmm. And her mother watched her put the card in her pocket before she walked away. The shorts are gone, which means somebody else has the card now. Mm-hmm.
Hence what I said. I still reckon the shirt and the shorts are connected to the card.
Mm-hmm.
Or the shirt is maybe, and the shorts were taken because the card was in the shorts.
That's very possible. I agree, AJ. That's a fact.
Yep.
It is very sad, Christine. Very sad. You're making me hungry, Daisy. That's not even fair. Garrett's Popcorn Shop, Chicago style cheese corn. Oh my God, you gotta quit. She said, "Holy Mother, you won't regret it." I bet I won't. I've never been to Chicago. I've always wanted to go. I have a friend, Josh, that lives out there that talks about their pizza and stuff all the time. I'm a huge pizza fan, so just send it straight to your house. That's it. Yeah, just send it to me, guys. You can send me all sorts of stuff. Um, that's a good question, Cheryl. Why is there no autopsy? That's why I'd like to speak to her parents. Why? Or maybe I can figure it out and I can contact the ME themselves or the ME's office and ask, why did you do no autopsy? Why was there no rape kit? If the woman was found without her clothing on, the first thing you should do is a rape kit. Why didn't you do it? None of this makes sense to me.
Mm-mm.
None at all.
No.
Again, that's what caught my attention with this case and why I wanted to do it with you guys, because it's a very interesting case, right or wrong. And there's a lot of questions that need answered, not only for us, but for her family alone. Right, Izzy?
You're right, Izzy.
And right.
And they're good at doing that. And it blows my mind how quick they come to that judgment, or the same as the runaway judgment.
Yeah.
No, it's just
like
the crazy teen, they've run away.
Or the drug addict,
Yeah.
And self-unaliving. I mean, come on. What's his name? Aaron Carter just passed away at the beginning of the week, right?
Yep.
Because he had problems with drugs in the past, and he was a music entertainer, this and that. They automatically started thinking right away it was a drug overdose. How do you know that? How do you know? Same as
because if you saw his videos, you know he was using drugs. I just have to say that.
Right. Usually, Cheryl, they don't do autopsies if it seems pretty cut and dry, like if somebody does drop dead from a heart attack or an aneurysm or something. But they only usually do autopsies when it looks like it's murder or something else like that, to figure out which way it went. I think you should do one regardless of what it is, no matter what. That's how I feel. I've always felt that way.
They did an autopsy on my nephew that I still have, who unalived himself. That was so cut and dry, and they did a full autopsy on him.
Well, here's why they do that on those, at least here in the States, is because they want to make sure that it was actually self-unaliving and it wasn't somebody doing something to him to make it look like that. That's why we do it here. I don't know. It's interesting because of his recent Instagram shows his character very well. Wait, what are we talking about, Christine?
Do you know what they should just do? They should just do an autopsy regardless.
Aaron. That's what I'm saying. They should do an autopsy regardless of the situation.
Yep.
I understand that there are certain religious beliefs with certain people that goes against their religious beliefs. That's fine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I caught on, Christine. I'm sorry. But in certain circumstances, I think it really should be done in most cases. Okay. Even if just to know if what was going on with that person in the months, days, and years before they passed. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very telling. Yep. Autopsies are very, very telling. When I went to be a medic and all that stuff in EMS, I went through a couple cadaver classes and witnessed that kind of stuff where they do basically do autopsies and dissect the human body piece by piece by piece. It's very interesting to see. And it's very interesting to see what people put their bodies through, you guys. I've seen blackened lungs from smokers. I've seen people that have had brain issues, eyeballs for different vision issues, and just all sorts of different things. Stomach cancer. I've seen what cancer looks like. It's a bad thing. Just all sorts of stuff. But that's not the point behind it. It's just good to know what really happened to people when they pass. So it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean much, especially not in nowadays world, but it's what I think. Right. See, there it is, right there. Cheryl's absolutely right. The ones with religious beliefs can get them scanned, MRI, and usually figure out why. That's a
Mm.
fact. That is a fact. They can do slicing, okay, MRIs and slicing that will show heart, brain, anything, guys, anything. So, absolutely, you guys are smart. I'm proud of you guys for knowing these things too. It is expensive at times, Bonnie. I know it is, and the state won't pay that because they're very cheap, and our government won't pick it up because they're very cheap. They're donated a lot of times, AJ,
Yeah,
to medicine.
I
They're
just spotted that myself.
Yeah, people will decease, and then they'll put it in their living wills sometimes that they'd like
Yeah,
their body dedicated to medicine, to this and that and everything else, because it does help. They use a lot of these bodies to help to find cures for different diseases and stuff like that, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a good thing. I would definitely donate mine to medicine to help to find a cure for anything, guys. Not that they would find anything good with my body, but I'm just saying. Right, that's exactly it, Cheryl. Exactly it. Right, that's a fact too, Izzy. Well, I guess nobody wants to call us today, Miss Lisa. Must not like my.
apparently not.
I guess not. I think my feelings are hurt. No, they're not. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
While we're here, can I just touch on something?
You absolutely can.
Because this has upset me in the last since I was on here yesterday. It has been doing my head in, and no, it's not you guys, so don't think that. But I really need to touch on this because, like I said, it's really got to me. The whole Jared thing, like I said, I won't discuss it. However, what is really hurting me and upsetting me is that the people that are talking about it, not all people, but the people that are talking about it, and although they're against what he's done, they really need to stop and think how they are wording what he did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it is hurting and re-victimizing the victims, and it is also triggering other victims. And I'm not saying me, okay? I know it's triggering other victims. I just wish everybody would really stop and think what they're saying and how they say it. Regardless of what they believe, what they don't believe, who they don't believe. This is really breaking my heart that human beings will actually treat other human beings like this or say things without a thought of who it affects and who it doesn't affect.
Right.
But most of the time, it is really affecting somebody and it is triggering somebody. And I feel that the point out of all this should be to say that if anybody is or has been through any SA abuse, DV abuse, and has not ever spoken up about it and has lived with it for years, please find somebody that you can talk to
Right.
or you trust to talk to. Maybe somebody in your life didn't believe you before, but there is people that will believe you. So keep trying. Don't give up, for God's sakes.
Take care,
And for
David.
those
Thanks for joining us.
who get triggered by what is being said, don't stay there and keep listening to it. Please And as for the rest of us, it's up to us to pull others up.
That's a fact, guys. We have to look up for each other no matter what.
Yep,
Again, at the end of every one of my shows, I say, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. That's what that's about. We have to be able to trust each other, okay? And if we can't, who do we have, guys? We have to start learning how to treat each other the right way.
yep.
We have to start learning how to love again and love each other again and know that it's okay to be that way. That's not a thing, you guys. And again, I'm not trying to go super religious on anybody, but that's why God put us here together. He trusted in all of us to take care of each other because he can't do it every day. Okay, and that's a
That's
fact.
right, Izzy. Survivors.
Absolutely, survivors, guys. That's an understatement, in my opinion.
Survivors strong.
100%.
But in saying that, see, this day and age, we have the internet and we have social media and everything, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of being able to communicate across the world with everybody. However, in saying that, when did it become so okay to just say things regardless of who you're hurting or who you just might push over the edge?
Right.
And I am so fed up with hearing it or hearing people come up with the excuse of, well, that's my feelings. Well, that's great. Sometimes your feelings just need to be reworded or
That's a
thought
fact.
about. Because if that was your loved one, how would you feel? I don't care what you believe, whether you want to side with him or them. As I've stated to everybody, I will always believe a victim, always,
Yep.
before it's proven otherwise. However, in saying that, if they want to sit on that side of the fence, that's fine. But don't attack the people that you had the audacity to sit there and say, why did it take them 30 years? Without thinking, my God, it's taken them 30 years to actually say something. That would be the right way of saying that.
Yep. Yeah,
And
there's a
it
way.
is making me angry because we're supposed to be so aware of this now, of DV and SA and all these other things. We're supposed to be so aware of it now. And I keep watching this and go, wow, how aware is then everybody? Because they're not watching what they're saying. They're not caring who they're triggering.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? This is correct too, Cheryl. That's exactly it.
Mm.
That is 100% it. I think she's just talking in general, Christine. Um, I don't think there was anybody in particular you're talking about, Lisa.
No. I'm just talking in there was a couple of people. I mean, there's even a person who I haven't seen myself, but and I'm not subscribed to their channel or anything else, but apparently is full-fledged on that side. That's fine, but he's come up with the most ridiculous things that I've heard, of all these excuses and everything. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, it does.
Like, regardless of how I feel, like I said, I will not discuss Jared.
No.
I don't want to. For one, two, it needs to go to court. I'm not the law.
I've noticed that just about everybody that belongs with AWP has either resigned or they're in the midst of it, and they've all spoke out about it. They've all admitted they didn't know anything about it, and I believe that because I don't see why Jared would have said, knowing what it could have caused, this is what happened. I don't see him doing that, guys. So I believe them saying they didn't know anything about it. And I feel bad for them because now, they've all dropped their lives to come out here to do this one thing, which is an amazing thing. And now it's gone. After they've started this amazing thing, it's gone. What do they have to do? This has affected more than just his life. He needs to see that. And just that woman, those poor women's lives.
Yep.
He's affected multiple lives. Not to mention, here's another way to look at it too, you guys. There's people that need AWP right now that aren't going to get it, okay? That deserve to get it, their help. So again, it's affecting worldwide people's lives.
Yep.
And it's a sad thing. Very sad thing.
Same old scenario. Victims and the perpetrators keep re-victimizing. The victims get re-victimized again.
Yep.
And you know, the most hurtful thing out of all this is what I was talking about on here last week, was the fact that women are the worst people to pull women down.
Yeah, that happens.
And most of the comments and most of what's being said is said by women.
Yes. Women can be.
And here's the other thing. It just goes to show you, does it not? Don't believe in somebody on social media that much that you are so blinded that you will not back away from them to let the law do its job and go, wait, I'm just going to take a step back.
Yep.
Not support this one or this one if that's it, but don't support them to the extent that you're attacking.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sam was the perfect person in all that prior to this coming out. Look how he got bullied.
Right.
I mean, I'm waiting. I am honestly waiting for somebody to take their life that is a bigger social media person that will sit up and take notice and then watch how many people stand there and go, why did this happen?
Yep.
When they've all been guilty of it.
That's right.
The ones who say that.
Amen to that.
Or not all. I'll rephrase that. Not all, but a lot of them.
Excuse me, everyone.
Sorry, guys. I had to offload that because it, like I said, it's been doing my head in all day, and it's just been getting worse and worse, the stuff I've seen.
It's true. It is true. And I appreciate that comment, AJ. I really do. Believe me, men can be nasty as well, okay? But not all of you guys, but women have an electric tongue. They have electric tongues, I'm telling you, and they will strike you down. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's because of the intelligence. I still think women are way more intelligent than men. I always have. And I think that you guys think. Are you serious? My wife has super hearing, by the way, superhuman hearing. She can hear me if she's outside. If she wants to hear it, I should say. She also has definitive hearing. When I say something she doesn't care to hear, she doesn't hear me. But when she needs to hear it, she does. It's funny. Yes, because you're multitaskers. That's true.
We were born to be.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well,
who else can raise babies, clean the house, and make dinner and work?
I can do that. You gonna say I can't do that? I didn't say I could do it as well as you, but I can do it. Is that better?
On that we agree.
Okay then. Of course women are better than men. That's facts. Mrs. Dago said it's because women are multitaskers.
Very much so. We can walk and talk at the same time.
I can barely even walk, let alone talk along with it. You guys know I can't multitask. Now I can. You know what's weird? I can multitask when I'm not trying to. Figure that out. When I'm trying to, forget it. I'll have things jacked up. My phone will be shoved in my head somewhere with the microphone up in my ass. It doesn't. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, but when I'm not trying to, and don't ask me what I meant by that. I just keep on moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep on moving anyway. But yeah, if I'm not trying to, I'll get in the midst of doing something and realize that I was writing stuff down, playing with my phone while talking and adjusting something on my computer. I'm like, I just multitask something. How did I do that? I can't do it when I'm trying to do it, so it's whatever.
Probably because you're trying to concentrate on it too much.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Plus, I'm ADHD, so that causes big issues right there. So,
We are to
absolutely,
say very gifted creatures.
absolutely. Listen, I have said for years, I was raised by an amazing woman. My mother is such a strong, independent, beautiful person and so smart. Okay, and she taught me the respect that I have for women. I came to my own conclusion as when I became an adult and I realized the things in the first time I saw my first child born, other than the mortification that I went through and how mortified I was watching that scenario go down, I was in awe. And I was in awe because it came to me right then and there how much and how important, how much of a blessing women are and what you can do. Giving birth to a human life, blew my mind, you guys. I was just like, oh my God, that's a human life. And you just took that out of your body and gave it to the world. Like, wow, you know what I mean? That's where my respect for women came from. And I've told my wife millions of times, at any given time, I would love to be able to take that from you, to be able to have to carry that baby and give that baby life and take all of that pain and suffering from you guys for it. But I would. I absolutely would, because you guys go through a lot, and I mean a whole lot of hell throughout your entire lives.
Love you
So,
too, Christine.
yes, Miss Christine,
Take
we do
care,
love you.
hon.
Thank you guys all once again for an amazing show. You guys are beautiful people, all of you. Um, Moderators, amazing job as always. Miss Lisa, always a pleasure and an honor to have you up here with me. I thank you
Very welcome. Thank you
so
for
much.
having me. Thank you,
Last night,
everybody, for hearing me
just
ramp
so
on
you guys,
about that. Sorry.
no.
Sorry.
There's no sorry. There's no ramble. You told what you needed to tell because it needed to be told. Facts. Um, Again, my I forgot to apologize, guys. My internet went out last night. Surprise! That's why I didn't go my live stream last night. I'm gonna try to do it tonight, though. I promise you, I'm gonna try. If everybody wants to make a phone call to Optimum and tell them to keep my internet running for me, you may see me. I'm gonna try to fit it in between other streamers so that I don't interrupt anybody's streams and have anybody have to choose where to go and see and this and that. But I'm definitely going to try to go live tonight, guys, because I'd love to spend the evenings with you as well. Just look for me and hopefully you'll find me. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you all for the support you show me, for everything you do for my channel. I love you guys to death. You're my meatball family is amazing. I love it. Yeah, I wish I could have last night, Pam, but my internet didn't come back on until 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, I guess. So I tried. Sorry. Um, so guys, thank you once again for coming out here today and jumping in the sauce with me. Remember, guys, it's a fugazi. It's not a big deal, but thank you so much for doing it. I appreciate it. Again, Miss Lisa, thank you so much for all you do. Molly,
Very welcome.
you're amazing.
Love you all, guys.
You helped me so much. Heather, everybody, great stuff today. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. Have a great day, guys. I love you so much. And don't forget to love each other and love yourselves, because that's all we got. And I will see you guys soon. Bye
And
bye.
stay strong.
That's
Bye,
right.
guys.
I'm sorry to hear that, Kat. They're horrible. They are horrible.